Hello, hello, hello. Welcome on in, everyone. I hope everyone is ready for Monument Mythos Part 2. And we are joined with Cast Iron Cat again. Hello, hello.
Whoa! Hello!
Yes. So for those that maybe haven't seen before, would you mind giving yourself a little introduction?
Yeah, my name is Cass. I have a Twitch channel, twitch.tv/castironcat. There's underscores instead of spaces because I don't know why Twitch does that. and I am a blue rock and roll catboy VTuber, and I play a lot of spooky games and do stuff like that. And I've been on hiatus for too long, but I come back tomorrow.
Yay! Clap, clap, clap,
Yeah.
clap, clap, clap.
I needed it for like my own mental sanity, but
Mm.
also as I was like on break, I'm like, I need to go live. I need to go. And everyone around me is like, Casto, do it. I'm like, but I wanna.
It was your Green Goblin mask.
It was my computer was calling me every day. Just Cass.
I think for a lot of yeah, I feel that my
Hmm.
going through it, my Green Goblin. There's sometimes where like games will be like my like games I pick to stream with will be like my Green Goblin mask. This past one, it's been Kingdom Come Deliverance 1.
Oh yeah. And you're like, I want to play more of it, but like I don't want to play too much of it off stream.
So I will play it on stream. 8 hours later. um, but in my defense, last night it did go long, but that's only because I wanted to finish it,
Mm.
and we didn't finish it because there was this one quest that is one of those. I like the idea, but it it kind of overstayed its welcome.
Oh
there's like an
yeah. I
there's a mission where it's because you have to like infiltrate this gang of hoodlums, and
Mhm.
they give you this job of, okay, well, we want you to kill someone, uh our former
Former hoodlum.
yeah, our former buddy who like decided to make like a banana and bugger off with some money, uh and he's hiding out in a monastery as like trying to be as like a novice. So we need you to get in the monastery and kill him for us as your initiation, which is like, huh. So to get in there, like the two options that you're given is there's either you could you can either sneak in through like an underground passage and like, go um and like go in him and then like find him and then kill him. Of course, you don't know which novice it is, so um which brings the question of, so you'd have to find him and get him and then try to do that all while avoiding. So that sounds like a
Being
nightmare.
detected.
Yeah, so the other option is, okay, so you can pose as this guy that's like being made by his parents to become a monk because
Mm.
he knocked up uh their lord's daughter, and they're all kind of like, he was the other option of. So I had to pay 1,000. My parents had the option of paying 1,000 coins and
For
offer
making me a monk.
and offering, and I think it literally used the phrase of offering my balls on a silver plate to this guy, or 1,000 coins, and be hid away into and becoming a monk far away. So he chose the monk. They chose the monk option. Um. So But so the option is you could like obviously he's like stuck with his guardian or whatever, like to following him and to make sure he joins in. So basically, you would work it out to where like you would take his papers, his ID papers, and then like also give him the coins so he can bugger off, and you can get this paper and like pose as him, like as a
And
new
what is he
novice or
gonna do?
whatever. We'll just take the coins and like live off him or whatever,
Fair
because he
enough.
doesn't want to become a monk.
Yeah.
He's too
You gotta
busy.
shave your head and not do anything and reflect.
So, um, but that meant so it leaves this segment of like you get to become like a novice in this cloister in the monk cloister, which is like really neat, you know, in terms
Hmm.
of like, because okay, you get to like see what it's like as a monk in 1403, you know, in this like very, you know, and one of those like gorgeous medieval buildings and stuff like that, and look at all the stuff and just kind of
Yeah.
see it. So it's like, oh, this is neat. But and while you're doing it, it's a kind of like a whodunit because there's some ever other novices. You don't know who's the guy you're looking for because you're given new names when you become a monk. So
Hmm.
you got to figure out who's who. Um, so you get like a whodunit while you're like posing as a novice, and then you know you have to figure out of what to do because you know the your light side character basically is, you know, there's the you can just find and kill him and get away,
Hmm.
or you know the light side, you like find him and then try to figure out a way to get him, basically arrest him, like bring him
Hmm.
back to your lord that you're doing this for, and you know lock him away so they can think that you killed him. You know, you bring like his dice or whatever as proof, and you say, oh yeah, I killed him.
His balls on a silver platter.
Yeah. So but the segment, it 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 went on, it was on too long, and then it's kind of, yeah. So I spent quite a while, like at least 2 hours doing that segment, and I was like, because I was like, this won't take long. I was wrong.
That was me last night. I was replaying Skyrim for the 1005th time. And of course I modded it to crap and I forgot that I had modded it I modded in Open Civil War, which like allows you to turn the Skyrim Civil War into like a war games and you
Mm-hmm.
have to like strategize and stuff like that. I totally forgot about it and that extends the Civil War quest line by like hours because sometimes they could just retake the holds that you just fought so hard for and you got to go back and do it again and then
Mm-hmm.
it's like but while you were doing that they took over two other holds and also this fort and it's like oh my god. And I was like all right, it's going to be a quick side mission, it's going to be in and out like 15 minutes, gonna get a little frick and we'll be good. And then like 2 hours later I'm like why am I still fighting in this war?
And it was extra awkward because you also forgot you had the lovers lab mods enabled. So
Oh, I never forget. This is true though. I forgot. Well, it was because like I modded Skyrim and then like I downloaded some mods and then they all like for some reason the mods all started to mess with each other. This mod needed that mod and that one, and I had like dug myself deep into like a modded hole that I could not get out of. So like the only thing I could really do was just scrap everything I just modded and start a new one. And I was like, I'm just gonna see what they got for the collections. And so I downloaded this one. Um, it was what was it? It was like some. It's the top rated collection on Nexus mods for Skyrim. Now I'm gonna look it up
hmm.
real quick. But it's got so many mods. Oh yeah, it was just called immersive, like immersive and adult.
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't think about that. And so I downloaded like all these things, and then like I got into the game, started playing, and like, I found like an I found like a bandit who had armor, and I had like nothing because it was also like they had like a start another life start to it.
Right.
And I was like, all right, I'll kill him and take his armor. That's penis. What did I download?
I immediately kind of knew where you were about to say. It's like, yeah, he had no one. He took all his stuff.
No, I was like, I hit X to take everything. That's a schlong. You ever watch How I Met Your Mother?
No, I haven't. No, I haven't.
There's a really funny episode where the main character is an architect, and his whole dream is to design like a building to be on like the New York's like the New York sky,
Right.
and he loses like the promotion to this other guy, and the other guy unveils the building, and then they never show the building, but they imply throughout the entire episode that like he cannot show this building because it is a penis. The building is shaped like a penis and nobody else sees it but the main character. They're like, it can't be that bad. And he's like, it's got two cylindrical pink glass stained openings and a garden on the outskirts that like make it like a green bush surrounding the balls, and the last couple floors jut out from the last one. Like I said, they never show the building, but they describe it in details. And all I can think of when I had that mod was at the end he shows it to like the head architect. The guy's got like a big smile on his face, and then he unveils it, just drops, and the first thing he says is, "That's a dick." He's like, "What? No, that's my building." And he's like, "Your building looks like a penis." That's what I felt. I took the guy's armor and I was like, "Oh, what's that?"
There's like, I think there's like an episode of Everybody Loves Raymond that had like a similar thing. It was like Raymond's mom like started taking sculpting lessons, and she made
Oh
a
yeah.
statue that uh, it's implied it looks like a lady's cooch,
Hmm.
and they show it or whatever. Although it's one of those things, I don't see it. Of course, it's been years.
Hmm.
Dang it! Now I'm gonna have to look that up. But and through the like episode, it's like Raymond sees it, and then like eventually his brother kind of sees it. His dad doesn't see it. He's just like, "There's something about this statue, about this sculpture that I like." And then on this, she's kind of like, "It's like a sailboat or something," and then and she's like
It's like
planning,
a sailboat.
and then like, or no, wait. I think it's more of it's supposed to look like a uterus. Hold on. Now I'm thinking. All right,
Yeah.
but
This
yeah,
requires further
she
investigation.
wants to like donate it like to a charity, like a Catholic charity or whatever, and then like the nuns go over to look at it, and they're just kind of looking at each other.
Oh, great heavens!
Eventually, they like tell her what it kind of looks like, and she looks like, and she's like, "Oh my gosh, I'm a lesbian." Okay, hold on.
Oh, similarly to when I was going through the game, it adds in like a bunch of followers that you can just randomly find throughout like the world. And like I was just like I was like walking around Dragon's Reach, and all of a sudden there's this girl just talking some of the most non-TOS friendly shit. And I was like, who the fuck are you? What mod did I download for this? It was so funny. I was walking through, I just hear the most heinous things. I have to stop for a second, like, I'm sorry, what did I just hear?
Hold on, I found it.
Oh.
Okay, yeah, I can see it now. Okay. I'm not gonna show it on stream, but I'll show you the image it to you in Discord.
All right. Show me the face.
And then we'll actually move on.
And then
Mythos.
we'll do. Yeah, that's yeah, I see it.
Yeah. So the folk,
Speaking of large sculptures, monuments.
yeah, the folks at home can Google that one. Not, I don't think it would be good for me to show that on
Like the
Twitch.
old in shows when they'd make a joke and then they'd be like, "Ask your parents."
Yeah. Okay. But yeah, so we're going to finally be
Yeah,
talking about. Well, I'm in good form.
analog horror.
Yeah, I'm in good form. We're almost 16 minutes into from when I hit start record on the from when we went in and we're just
Yeah, that's a record for me.
listen.
I'll always play something like an hour later. Someone will be like, "Wait, weren't you playing a game?" I'm like, "Well, I never even started."
Yeah, our my YouTube audience is gonna be is gonna be pissed.
It'd be Monty Python. Get on with
Yes, exactly.
it.
Although before we start, I should mention yeah, since you like the Skyrim mods, you should look up if you haven't already. You should watch Frederick Knutson's like latest video that he dropped, where it's just on the Skyrim unofficial patch.
Oh, I've been meaning to watch that.
Yeah.
Those are like the kind of you probably understand. Those are my sleep aid videos.
Yes. Yeah. I have. I know for my sleep aid ones are normally my go-to is Seth Zentech. Um, and then there's another channel recently where it's that got into rotation of Reggie, and that where it's kind of like both like game review or one's not game review, one's more like game challenge type stuff, and then
Mm-hmm.
um internet Hitsource and then yeah Frederick Knudsen. Which is,
Mine, I somehow stumbled into like watching hours and hours of SpongeBob lore to fall asleep, and then I'll wake up and YouTube will automatically recommend a Creepcast episode to me,
mm,
which I do also sometimes start listening to fall asleep. Which those are just wild to fall asleep to sometimes,
yeah.
because half the time you wake up to some of the creepiest things you ever heard, and other times you just wake up to Hunter just going crazy.
Only thing is the only problem with like going to sleep to like Frederick Knudsen is I guess it does lead to like with some of his subjects, it means at some point your unconscious brain is going to be hearing like if you go to sleep like to the one on Temple OS,
Oh God,
like
don't get me started
45
on
minutes you're
Temple
going to be
OS.
hearing like a reading of a schizophrenic man off his meds using racial slurs
Saying that he ran over lizard government men in his front lawn
while using racial slurs.
while using a lot of truth. This is a fun fact. Temple OS ruined a date between me and Dante once
Oh,
because I had mentioned it in passing, and she's like, "What is Temple OS?" And my tism kicked in hard. And so for like an hour, I was explaining to her about Temple OS and all the history behind it while we're just sitting down in a restaurant eating Japanese food. And she's like, "I don't want to hear about Temple OS anymore." And I'm like, "No, but it's fascinating because this guy was so crazy that he would and it just kept going on and on.
listen,
And then by
his
the end,
computer would like manufacture hymns that went doo 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 doo.
I was just by the end of it, I was sitting there. I'm like, God, my tism hit a little too hard for that one, didn't it? My bad. Sometimes it's like I can go for days without talking, but you get me on one subject and I will not shut up about it, despite everybody telling me to shut up about it. And I just sit back and I go, "Oh, I did the thing, didn't I? Oops."
Yeah, I actually have to like restrain myself while I've been playing Deliverance of, cause it takes place in like the 1400s, which is basically 100 like is when you're starting to move you're into my historical jam
Mm-hmm.
and like so basically me and then like about start of the 16th century and then going into like basically would be like the early modern period, which
Mm-hmm.
basically the cutoff point is normally like about the French Revolution. Kind of
Okay.
that chunk of time in terms of like thought and things that are going on in Europe is my freaking jam.
Mm-hmm.
Um Also that actually does work also with like Japanese history because it's like the Sengoku Jidai is pretty been much less so, but it's still like is learning about Nobunaga and stuff like that in the Unifiers is pretty poggers to me.
Yeah. I love learning about random stuff in general.
Yeah.
Another another thing I fall asleep to is, you ever heard of the fat electrician?
I've like heard of him. I think I've seen like a clip or two or something like that, or it's something like a presentation kind of guy or
Yeah, he does these little, so on his main channel he'll do um like World War II kind of history, different generals and stuff that fought in World War II on like all the Allied sides, which I got into that early. I, as somebody whose family grew up saying that I was half Mexican, half redneck, like I got into World War II history fairly quickly. And I love falling asleep to those videos. And then he's got another channel that I love even more, where he talks about like the absurdities of brands and like how they got popular. Like he did a recent video talking about Crocs and how they're going to take over the world. He was like, I have never had any interest in Crocs, and then I started doing a video on it because their business, like how their business works, just absolutely like flabbergasted me. And by the end of it, now all of my family has a pair of designated Crocs that we wear outside and around the house, and I don't know what happened.
uh okay, Monument Mythos for real this time.
Yep.
So
All
so
right.
last time we finished up like season one. This was totally on me, so don't worry about it. But it was we finished up with season one on the was it the Liberty statue.
Yep. So we had the Statue of Liberty with the financial compensation. We had or no, this one was the statue on top of the um
Yeah, the
is it
Capitol
the
building, the where
yeah,
like Congress and the Senate meet. So it was the Freedom statue or
that's it. Yeah.
yeah,
And the creepy like jump scare it kind of had looking down.
yeah. It like got knocked over and it like freed the entity in there,
Yeah.
which is like I'm trying to remember. I was trying to remember if it's like fully if it's fully confirmed that it's basically if the thing comes to life by like kind of like feeding off of the sculptor or if and
Mhm.
that's why it has his eyes or if it's just that he's been like absorbed by the statue. So it would be like
Yeah.
him kind of retaining himself, but he's kind of like trapped in there.
Mhm.
So I feel like it's one of the two. Not sure, but
I I still also love because this one's called Corner Girl. How this whole series started out with some dude ranting about the corner folk and like the weird things he's been seeing in the corner of his room.
yeah.
That hasn't been touched on at all. And now a bunch of crazy shit has happened. And George Washington was literally unfrozen. And it's like,
Yeah.
Hey, so about those corner things you were talking about.
Yeah, it's going into season 2, and it's like going back to corner, which is interesting because it's sort of like one of the big things is it's like changing in like between dimensions.
Yeah.
So like, because one of the a lot of the stuff is we're taking in is the Dean verse, since kind of like the point is that
Oh yeah.
it's President James Dean
James
instead of
Dean.
Nixon, and then ours would of course be the Nixon verse because Richard Nixon was president. Um, so it's just still wild that that's the canon event. That's
Yeah,
this
that's the
that's
that's
this
the
un-
canon.
that's this series' like Harambe moment is
Oh god.
is the is James Dean
The
living,
election of James Dean.
him surviving and becoming president.
And I still love, by the way, I don't know if I mentioned it last time, that like James Dean just became president by just taking everybody out in his car and playing bongos.
Yeah. It's just like everyone just like sees him and then like completely loses their crap of like, oh my gosh, he's amazing. He's just
Yeah, like
like,
because that
hi. Oh my
I'm James
gosh.
Dean. Because that was literally like, it was like him and Richard Nixon were in line to be president, but Richard Nixon dropped out after a small car ride with James Dean, where he went, "Damn, this dude's pretty cool."
It's like it literally is like it's with all like the teeny boppers in like the 60s, like when they saw the Beatles, were just like see
Yeah,
they see like a wrist and oh my
I
gosh,
do.
just
I
start
do still
screeching.
love Beatles mania. Just makes me laugh because it's just a bunch of people screaming and going crazy over a couple of English guys from Liverpool who are just like, "I just want to play guitar."
Yeah, it's like yeah, I actually had like an album of it was like a recording of like one of their live performances, and
Ooh.
it was and I think it was was like mixed or whatever by like George Martin, and it's uh if I'm remembering his name, I may be getting his name's confused, but their actual like producer, and then it was they showed, and he like even it was noted like they changed the mix to try to turn the volume down of the screaming of
Because everybody was just going crazy for Beatles
yes,
mania.
and it really was one of those things where it was like the whole recording of the concert, it was a constant at full volume. It was one of those like I totally understand why they're just like we're not touring anymore. You literally it's like I once again that's like the stuff turned down. I could not
Yeah,
imagine trying to you could not hear yourself at all try to play. That
yeah,
is insane.
because like even like today's concerts, like big arena concerts, people will go crazy, but like the minute like they start playing music, everybody kind of dies down. Some people will still be singing and listening, but it's still like a you can hear the music.
Yeah.
The when they would play, it was just a constant wall of sound and screaming for like the minute they got on to the minute they got off the stage. And it's like, that's hard, man.
Yeah. And then it's like, they couldn't play ballads at all. Like they couldn't play a song like Yesterday or something like that. Just like at
Mhm.
all. Like, cause you for sure it would be entirely pointless. That just
Yeah,
that's one of those things that's just sad.
it is.
And then you start dating Yoko Ono to try to cope, and it's just all
And then
goes
it's really
and
sad.
then it goes downhill from there. There's a recording. Oh my gosh, but there
Is
is
it the Chuck Berry one?
yes, there
I
is
love John Lennon, Chuck Berry, oh, and also Yoko Ono.
yes. So for this recording of John Lennon like jamming out with Chuck Berry, you
By the
know.
way, his like idol, like he looked up to Chuck Berry more than anybody.
Oh yeah. Yeah, just like keep it away. It's like Chuck Berry pretty much like invented rock guitar for anyone who's
Yeah.
like wondering Chuck Berry. It's like, yeah, pretty much it's just sort of that so
Or did
um
Marty McFly do it?
da 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 da. But there is but John and gotta do like a jam or it's with Chuck. So they're they're both jamming out, having a good time, playing and singing together. And then Yoko Ono in the background starts wah,
Screaming.
starts
While they're like in the middle of like a rock song.
yes. It's like literally it is
Chuck
like
Berry's face sums up everything about the emotions in that second.
it is this he still plays and like sings or whatever, but it is this expression of what the hell?
His eyes just like wide saucers staring at her, which is the biggest what the fuck look I've ever seen on anybody's face. I love that video so much because he's just like, okay then. And then my favorite fact about that is they ended up muting her microphone, but she still was screaming throughout like the entire thing. And everybody is just like, oh, thank God, like we muted her, but nobody can hear them, but we can still hear her.
Yeah, it's one of the sound engineers being the real MVP just switching off her mic.
Cut the mic!
There
Cut the mic!
that's better. She's still like it literally, and it's one of those like I feel kind of bad framing this, but it's like, wait, I'm autistic, I can say this. It's very much like the autistic screech. That is Yoko. Honestly, actually, it makes autistic screeches like sound melodic in comparison. Yoko
It's
Ono like doing whatever she does.
every time I hear it, because I recently saw a thing where people were talking about Yoko Ono, and it was like a recent performance of hers, and I was like, I never actually looked more into like what Yoko Ono sounds like. Oh, that's what she does. Oh, that's like because like those noise the is like that's how she sings. That's how she performs. Like I didn't know that for years. I was like, well, she's got to have like some actual songs that are no. She's just screaming. Okay then.
Yeah. She should be very careful, like if she starts like performing like near a zoo, because like some animals might break free because they get confused for
The birds are going crazy.
they. Some howler monkeys are confused. They thought it was a mating call. There's monkeys everywhere, and there's poo. It was terrible.
It was terrifying. And that was a mile down the road.
Oh gosh.
Yeah. So we got the Dean verse, the Nixon verse.
Yeah.
When are we gonna get the McCartney verse and
Yeah.
the Lennon verse?
The Paul is really dead verse.
I would say the Paul is dead verse.
Yes, just for reference, there was a big conspiracy theory that like Paul McCartney was like really dead
Had died.
and and they like put in little Easter eggs and all their stuff trying to reveal the fact it was a thing, and they were like decoding the images on the album covers of like, see, in this one you can see that Paul is
what was it? On Abbey Road, they're all dressed up like angels carrying Paul McCartney because angels love Abbey Road in London for some reason. Sergeant Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club album had like a couple of like supposed hints to like his bass guitar or something was in the bed of roses and stuff like that.
yeah.
That's one of those things. It's the same thing I think of with like conspiracy theories I see all the time, where it's like, yes, like say there's like a new world order. It's like, oh yes, there is a secret shadow organization planning to take over the world and call themselves the New World Order. And they think, you know, it'd be great if we told people that we were doing it, but we didn't tell them we were doing it.
We put just
It's like,
weird
what if we,
stuff on their money.
yeah, it's like, what if we just make them think that we're taking over the world while we're taking over the world? It's like, why would you want to leave hints about stuff like that? That feels like it could be like that could ruin your whole operation.
Yeah. But so we got our thing, and so we came up with a lot of in season 1, and it was like a lot of the like interdimensional like traveling. So like we came up with the weird tree things.
Oh, that's
That
right. The Christmas tree with
yeah,
Rockefeller.
there was the one that was in Rockefeller Center, that there were literally like kids that got switched
Like
around with their dimensional counterparts. And then we know also like one of those trees is like under the Washington Monument, or like the Washington Monument was built around one of these
around
things.
this quote unquote tree.
Yes. For lack of a better term at the moment. So just a lot of stuff. There's presidents will just like pick screw this person in particular, and
I forgot
and
about
shove
that.
them in, and they put them in a in
the
Lincoln
in
statue.
Yeah, in the Lincoln Memorial
Statue, and just like, and they're just like forced to just sit there looking out and subsist on soup for their
for like
presidency.
the entirety of the presidency. I forgot about them in the statue with the soup.
Yes. You just like pick someone random. Some guy cut you off one day when you were 19. This guy.
Well, unfortunately, this guy's the president, and he's decided that you got statue duty. What statue duty? You're gonna find out, kid.
Yeah. So last time it ended, there was like the anti-Dean society that is like convinced that James Dean is the devil, pretty much. They like attacked the Capitol building, and in that, like, that's when the Freedom statue got knocked over and like released the beast, if you will. So we are excited. So we're gonna start with this next video. So we're starting off with season 2. This next video is called Corner Girl, which sounds like a neat song title.
Oh, before stream we were like Corner Girl.
Oh wait, I didn't turn on the volume for the people at home.
Oh, whoops.
I'm kind of a dumbass. Hold on.
Yeah, by the way, the captions were nothing like what we just heard. That confused my brain for a second.
Darn it, it's still not going. Okay.
You paused at a really good time, though, because I didn't notice the caption right above that says she was too old for the nursery.
Oh, wow. Okay, yeah. All right, that worked out. Okay, let's see. We actually
worked out. That was exactly as planned.
Yes, that was intentional. I'm not just completely mucking up the thing I've been doing for years at this point.
I do love when I get chatters that are like, hey, how is it you've been doing this for years and you still have scuff? And I'm like, yes. Anyways, moving on.
Now let's learn about the sides and corners of different
Let's see. I'm not Alex Kansas.
Alex Kansas. She was too old for the nursery.
Yeah.
I just moved luggage.
A side or an edge is a line segment that joins two adjacent corners of a shape.
Oh, that's a corpse.
Alex Space Riley
A
Tillon on
corner
me.
or vertex is the point where the two sides
She
Let's
was
look at this
lugging.
chart.
Was luggage. You are luggage.
it has three sides.
That's what it said. Your luggage too.
I was gonna say, I think I saw another little. Oh, there it is.
Wait, but she made the
she-
perfect gift.
Oh, is that? Ooh.
I think that's gift.
I-
Yeah.
It's gift.
It has three sides. 1, 2, 3. It also has three corners. 1,
Oh,
Sincerely,
sincerely, Alex. Is that the same room from or the same kind of corner from episode 1? Like, it's
Yeah.
in that dude's room.
I think that's the same one. I think that is
Oh.
because it's next to a door and it's just literally just a corner of the guy's with the
Room,
ceiling and
yeah.
the wall.
2, 3.
Okay, and that
Ooh.
ends. So it's. I'm wondering. So it's. I think the. Hold on. Let's go back to the first video real quick. I want to make sure that it's the guy's name.
Riley Tillon.
Yeah.
Oh, wait. They were saying based Riley Tillon on me, didn't he?
Let's
So
see.
Riley isn't a real person? It would be before this because that was like the corner world.
Yeah.
And Alex, okay, so Alex is the name we've been seeing at the end of like everything.
Yeah.
Huh.
So they may be having a little bit of fun with the fourth wall.
Yeah.
But yeah. So that does make me think.
Yeah, Alex based Riley Tillon on me.
Yeah. So I'm wondering if like this lady was like brought like into the court or was taken out of it because they were described as
Yeah.
luggage. So
That's what, yeah. Like he was taking her into the corner world.
yeah, and because it starts going in and then it pulls out.
Yeah. Like he's like rearing back and then whoop.
Yeah. So
Okay.
we're getting called back, and that's kind of like a little neat, like, thing we want to keep an eye out.
Mhm.
Callback. So now you're like, how is this gonna fit in?
Yeah.
It's like, you think I forgot about the weird corner stuff? No, I haven't.
Mm-hmm. Anyways, back to James Dean.
Yes.
Maze movie maker.
Before you finish brushing your teeth, before you can finish showering, before you can finish getting dressed, before you can finish breakfast,
You can play Battleship.
before you can finish the morning paper, popcorn will be ready.
What?
With a startup time just under 60 seconds, Popcorn Prime is the fastest personal computer on Earth.
Oh, my fat ass thought it was actually popcorn. I was like, why would I want popcorn in my shower?
Hey, welcome in TNS Tony. Oh my gosh.
Titties! Tony.
I almost said Tony. Welcome, Tina's Teeny.
Tony.
Teeny's Italian counterpart.
It'd be TIS, the Italian Spartan. TIS Tony.
But welcome on this. Listen, I can't speak, so I have dyslexia of the speaking.
I feel that. Did I tell you I finally understand why people read?
Oh,
I I don't know. I haven't explained this to many people, but like
Oh.
I am dyslexic as all hell, way worse than I even thought I was. And I got a Kindle recently with like that you can change the font to be a dyslexic friendly font. I have been nonstop reading for like a month and a half. Just like, oh my god, I can read and it doesn't hurt.
Okay, now I'm curious. What does dyslexic font look like? Hold on.
So certain letters have like different weight to them so that they're easier to identify and harder to mix up with other letters. So like the tops and bottom of the letter are going to be like a thicker rounded kind of font, kind of like it looks like a thick Comic Sans, I'm not going to lie. But you know what? It helps me read.
Yeah. Okay.
It's a thick Comic Sans that helps me read.
Let's see. Wait. I think I found it.
Yeah, it should be called Open Dyslexic.
Yeah. Okay. I found it. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So that.
So like the first letters are a lot heavier than kind of the rest, but they still like you can see like E has a very thick tail on the bottom.
Right.
Which usually you get confused with like A, but the A has like a much thinner bottom and a much thinner kind of look to it, so it's harder for your brain to kind of like mix them around and kind of confuse it. It's really
Right.
nice, like I said, because I learned, especially when I was doing my stream where I read Pen Pal on stream, like my eyes hurt so bad after stream. I had such a bad migraine that like I just couldn't do anything. Like it hurt to read, and by the time I finished reading, my entire screen, like where it says like your popcorn is waiting, like imagine if that was just a white bar instead of words. That was how my vision started blurring the letters together. Was everything just looked like a white bar, and
Oh,
I had to
wow.
really force my brain to like kind of push through the noise and be able to read the words. It was so hard, and I was like, why did I think reading on stream was a good idea?
Well, I guess now it's like you can do like reading streams. You just have to make sure you like click it on in the Open Dyslexic font.
Exactly, yeah. Gas getting flashbanged by books. I did, because I was reading the book with a black background and white lettering, because dark mode is best mode, and I was just like, oh my goodness, everything is blind.
I realize we're gonna have to do an ad break, so we have to run. Hey, we got through the first minute video.
We got through the first 1 minute video.
Let's go. And then your popcorn will be waiting when you come back, chat.
It's the fastest.
Okay. All right.
I
Okay.
still love. I was like, wait, popcorn? What do you mean? Oh, it's a computer.
Wait, computer kernel? Where? Oh, that okay. Got excited for a minute there.
I was hungry. I got excited. I can't eat a computer unless.
That sounds like something like the 90s fat kid in like a show from the time or what.
Oh yeah,
From the
there was always like in every 90s sitcom there was like the fat kid.
yeah,
And like
the 90s or 80s where it's just like it's just like the joke is get it because he's fat so he eats things. So he eats a lot. He's always hungry.
I remember those tropes because it would literally just be like doing something and they'd just be like, food? No. And that was the whole joke of his existence. Which, I mean, to be fair, yes, but still.
That's hurtful. Also true, but shut up.
Yeah. I'm in this photo and I don't like it.
Okay. Okay. So we're gonna go an ad break and then we'll be right back. So
Yeah.
I get a drink or whatever. I'll make sure we have words on stream.
All right. Yep. I still got my drinks.
Yep. Okay, welcome. We are back. I am sorry,
Popcorn is
teeny.
here.
I am sorry, teeny, but it did not accept tits. I'm disappointed.
Damn it.
It was 4 letters and everything, so I don't know. Listen, there's certain words kind of like that it doesn't that it didn't take. Like there's been terms that people have like that the letters are there, but it won't accept.
Yeah. I I love it. Just reminds me of this old Saturday Night Live sketch where it's like Sean Connery on Family Feud. You ever seen that?
Oh, on the Celebrity Jeopardy.
Yep, that's what it is. And he was like, "I'll take Le Tits now for 200." He's like, "Sean, it's Let It Snow."
I'll take anal bum cover.
It's like, "No, Sean, that's not what it said."
No, that's
This
a
is what-
petite Dijon.
That's what it was. Because I think it was Will Ferrell who was doing like playing the host. It
Yes.
was just,
I-
oh, it was funny.
And then the other ones were just always ended up in like involved into his mother. What
Mhm.
sound does a dog make? We'll take seems like bow wow or even rough. Oh, rough. Just like your mother likes. Okay. Popcorn something something something.
Computer is waiting.
Maze. Okay, Maze
Oh, it's like
manufacturer.
Apple.
Okay, yeah, but it's okay, and the title is of this video is Maze Movie Maker. So yeah, okay, kind of like
Okay.
so it's like Windows or Apple, but it says it's Maze. Okay, and it's corn. Okay.
You ever seen the original logo for Apple?
Oh yeah, where it's like it's just really nice. It goes so hard.
It does. It's like this black and white, like Renaissance looking image of like Isaac Newton under the apple tree. I'm like,
Yeah.
this is so cool.
Yeah, or it, like a lot of like the OG like corporate logos are just like go so hard. Like the original
miss the-
Starbucks logo and stuff like that, but instead they're
Yeah.
just now they just
I
like
miss the old 2000s.
Listen, I freaking hate corporate minimalism with a passion.
Oh, same. I walked into a building the other day that was some kind of food place that was corporate minimalism, and I just looked at it like, I hate it. Oh, it was
This-
Subway. I walked into a Subway to get a sandwich, and like everything was like marble white, and then like on the wall was like, we make your sandwich fresh, and then the counter, and I was like, this looks awful.
This place
I remember
place
once-
looks like sadness.
It does, because I love the old like it kind of looked like an Italian grandmother's house.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They had like the nice kind of like brownish tiles and the cool design with all the fresh vegetables and stuff on
Yeah.
it.
Or they'd
I was
like
where's
Are
my
they-
veggies?
yeah, or I remember they'd have like pictures of like subways and like stuff like that. I think
Yeah.
of the one near where it's kind of like, oh, because it's a sub sandwich. Okay, Subway, stuff like that. It's like now we don't even have Dunkin' Donuts. We just have Dunkin'.
Dunkin'. There's one sandwich place that I love that like is the exact opposite of that. Have you ever heard of Potbellies?
Yeah, I have.
Oh, I love that place. You walk in and it's like walking. It's like I feel like when I walk in, it's like Peaky Blinders
Mm,
because it just reminds me of that like industrial revolution kind of like kind of design. They've got the old like stove and everything. Everything is like a dark wood. I'm like, oh, I love this place. Down with corporate
Yeah.
minimalism.
yeah.
More with actual decorations and cool shit.
Corporate maximalism. Let's go.
Yeah. I want my restaurants to feel like a panic attack. I
Yes.
want corporate maximalism.
I want this place to look like a grandmother, an 80s grandmother's living room right now.
I want you to pluck everything from a Christian thrift store and just slam it in there.
I need to find that weird design that's on all this stuff. Just going to man, we need a we need like a Art Nouveau needs to come back, man, in advertising, seriously, or something. I don't know.
What? When did you just come back for advertising?
Like Art Nouveau.
Oh, yes.
Because, like, the posters for that stuff was just, like, kick ass.
Or
Like,
like
when
I
you
said,
see,
I love
like,
the
yeah, for, for, like, various alcohol and stuff that were done, like, in the 20s, but they're, like, all in Art Nouveau. Those go
yeah.
hard.
I also love like the kind of futuristic aesthetic that everything tried to go for in the like early 2000s.
Mm.
Like I loved that shit when everything was like kind of green. I'm pretty sure like everything was like green and metallic, and that was cool. And everything just seemed so like energized and fun. It reminded me a lot of like I don't know if you know the band like Static X, because
Mhm.
a lot of their aesthetic is a lot like that, and I love it. I'm like, I want to go back to that. What we thought when we thought the future was cool and not depressing.
Okay, we got this Someil's manufacturing plants, 1960 to 1971. I get the feeling
Yep.
this is going to be horrific.
Right.
1960.
Oh, California.
Another.
Also in California, I think. Nevada. This is showing how well I don't know my states.
The pattern that they're doing is weird.
Yeah, I thought it was gonna be like kind of like a squiggly line, but
Yeah.
it's keeps going down now.
Yeah, because it's like, though it's very much like, so, because these are manufacturing plants. So,
Mhm.
but it specifically is forming like a line as like something organic.
Yeah.
Because if it was just like manufacturing and it's like a tech company, okay, start California, then maybe add another one, okay, sure. But then you start getting more in Southwest and then up
I think you're getting up in the Dakotas
yeah,
where
it's
there's
like
nothing.
there's like a lot of, and it actually goes through, like, if you had somewhere near like the Great Lakes, because then you're talking like Chicago or something like that. You would
Hmm.
imagine it would be like, okay, here's one with West Coast, and then have one
And
on
then
like
one
the
East
East
Coast.
Coast or around the Great
Yeah.
Lakes. Since it is like 1969, so
Hmm. Well, right
that,
now it's going into the 70s too, which one of these pops up every year
yeah.
too. Okay.
U.S. Consumer Product Safety Commission want you to know about the mandatory recall of all personal computers.
Oh god.
Personal
Outbreak.
computers may pose a risk to American lives and infrastructure.
Well,
Yay.
I'm sure we all expected that to happen, but
I mean, let's
Don't do dispose of your computer at a local hazardous tech collection center.
Fourth Amendment
Fourth
rights.
Amendment rights to which one's the Fourth Amendment? I need to look up my Bill of Rights.
I'm thinking that may be like the unlawful seizure of property.
Yeah, protection from unreasonable searches and
Yeah.
seizures.
Okay.
So it's like, get rid of your computer. If you don't, we're coming in. I don't give a fuck, man.
We don't need a warrant. We're just we're taking it.
All for a computer.
Yeah. Also, let me adjust the screen so like my mouse is visual or is visible. So when I want to like point stuff out, hold on.
I love this background, by the way, the TV on the little
Oh,
stand. I
thank
like
you.
that.
Yeah, okay, just adding the capture cursor made my stuff disappear. No, why did it do that?
Oh no.
Shiitake mushrooms.
Oh, sugar honey iced tea. You ever watch Madagascar?
Okay, there we go. I had to click away to something else, and then we're okay. We're good now.
All right.
Your safety is of the utmost importance to us.
Well, that's a lie.
In
In 1960s.
Maze Machines is
Maze
founded by
Machines
Rob
was
Career. Rob-
We both started and
Yes,
stopped at the exact same time.
Rob Careers and Rob. Oh my gosh. Rob Watroba.
Rob. Oh, you shrunk. You
Yeah, I took a drink and it made me.
made you disappear.
Yeah.
Ah!
69,
In
President
1969.
Dean establishes the Department of Technology, uniting all major American computer corporations, allocating billions of dollars toward technological advancement.
Now this delegation pays him this ovation and rises to its feet.
By 1970, Maze produces the first personal video camera and home computer.
Oh boy. Oh, it says ahoy. My bad.
In 1972, Maze collaborates with the Department of Defense
You know what that means.
to initiate the first system to control the true forces of mass destruction.
Yup, that's what I. Okay, that logo kind of goes hard though.
Yes. But yeah. And it's implied that it's like nearby, so that the pattern of like those
It
manufacturing.
doesn't line up though.
Yeah, it doesn't quite line up. But but it is a logo, so maybe that's not supposed to be. The fact that it's just like when we were looking back at the manufacturing plants, it was like a snake. It did kind of snake around.
It did,
So-
yeah.
In 1980, Maze is attacked.
Oh god.
Not the corn.
What are you doing to my corn? Jesus. Looks like a cactus of electricity.
Yeah, that's kind of like
Mount Rushmore.
yeah, Mount Rushmore, when it had like during that one thing or whatever, when it was like it had
Yeah,
that you
and
got
all
that
those,
brief
like-
moment of like the little
All the little spikes coming out of it and
Yeah.
stuff.
1990, the last American personal computer is shut down on national television.
If only, man, if only.
2000, we've learned from our mistakes. Control is confidence, and today there are no doubts. With Maze Movie Maker, now you can take control. So that implies that somehow like the personal computers previously
Bad.
they were out of control. They were not
Mhm.
people were not in control of them. That would seem to be the implication of that. So, also that is some weird ass looking maze.
Right? I all I've been thinking of is that would be a very unfortunate thing to try to like
Yeah,
do modern minimalism with.
I would not want to try to eat that maze.
No. Looks like it could give you a virus.
Yeah. Property maze, exploring under a maze factory. Oh, what
Here
fresh
we have the tunnel of fun.
Yes. What fresh hell do we have here? It's property
Wow,
of
man-made horrors beyond my comprehension.
But first, we spread the word. Beware the monuments.
Yeah,
They're
the
all
monuments,
connected.
They're all connected. Huh.
The military-industrial complex grows.
Oh.
The cave was very quiet and humid.
I was gonna say, it looks wet.
The air felt charged too. There were no light fixtures or any pieces of equipment.
I feel like I'm about to get jump scared.
No animals, not even bugs. It felt so empty. What happened here?
Huh.
Yep, that's a piece of paper.
Yep. With blurred information on it. Oh. Ooh, it just shocked it. Oh, that was...
Do not visit these sites. They have not been fed in years. Filmed by Maya
Come
and
on.
Nathaniel Arnoldson.
I don't think we've seen those names before. But we have seen Alex.
Yeah. Okay, hold on.
Liam Marvin.
Ah, wait, no, I want to go back. Because there was... I want to take a look again at that.
So I'm glad you did, because I want to point this out, because this cuts off something that is then later shown. Because you just see kind of the tunnel down, but when he points at the paper, there's like a whole other segment that he's pointing at.
Yeah. Let's see.
It looks like it's the same. Yeah, there we go. The same kind of like idea, but there's more to the tunnel. Because you can see kind of up in there, and there, and there.
Yeah, there's some structure that's going on here.
Yeah.
But yeah. Notice they're like chutes. And we've
Yeah.
seen chutes before, and once again, it's all the monuments have connected, and these sites have not been fed in years.
Mm-hmm.
So, which is reminding me of the Statue of Liberty. Because
Yeah,
we know that there
had
were...
a shoot.
Yeah, there was the murder, like, something was being, like, fed to the Liberty Lurker.
Yeah,
So,
the murder pit, basically.
Yeah. So the implication being like that these sites are that that people are being fed to whatever sort of like creature is, you know, either hidden, whether it's creatures hidden at these sites or, you know, a creature that like goes between them or something like that.
Yeah.
So, and there's something like as far as, you know, it's referring to as the Horned Serpent, some sort of project.
Oh, yeah.
And we got the
You guys
name.
realize
Oh, go ahead.
the serpent was like, I thought it was fuzzy, but now that I think about all the like little things that like jut out, it looked like the thing that jut out at his hand, it makes me think like that.
Mm-mm.
It makes me think of that instead of like, because it looked like the serpent was fuzzy, and I'm like, well, that just looks weird. But now it's like, oh, because of those things.
Yeah. It's like it like gives off like some energy.
Yeah.
And then yeah, like it has the little things, yeah.
Things.
So, and there was also we have because Maze collaborates and it's the first system to control the true forces of mass destruction.
Yeah.
So
That
which is
part
going
didn't surprise me.
yeah, so
The U.S. government took a look at this new thing and went, how can we use it to kill people?
well, it seems to be more of like
Oh, well, I guess
also
it's
like to
the
try to
initiative to control the
Well,
true forces of mass destruction.
yeah, like basic like to get it to like because they even have to like it seems to be like trying to like control it, but it keeps on like failing. And even like
Yeah.
this stuff with and we ran this stuff like with the Liberty Lurker. So
Mm-hmm.
these things to me to be problematic to say the
I
least.
also want to see if you go back, like
Oh,
the image from where, not that far back, like from when he got like shocked. There was like a black and white thing, like way right at the end.
oh, right.
See, just to see kind of how it. A little further forward than this, because it goes dark and then somewhere in between here. There's that. It goes dark and then something pops up.
Oh, right. Yeah, it's the site.
Okay.
We see like because I think that's like they escape the site and that there's like
I think that's the building.
yeah, that's like the building.
Okay.
They escape from it, whatever wakes up, and then like they run out, and then this is like the effect.
Okay.
Okay. Next one is Suez Canal crab, which goes hard. Suez Canal, March 2021. Ever Given, yay! Woo! March 23rd, 7:44 a.m. April 6th, 2021. Oh, so we got another like line of demarcation. So
Oh,
President Clinton
yeah.
announces nuclear solution, and it's 2021.
Oh.
So
And May's news.
oh, yeah, nice catch. Also, the announcement is taking place in okay, well, the time up there in the top left is San Diego. Okay, that may be just where the broadcast is coming from. So. For the last 2 weeks, the container ship Ever Given has obstructed the Suez Canal. Every passing hour, it is costing the global economy over $400 million. As the Egyptian president, the United States will end the crisis with nuclear force. Both Congress
I remember
and
when that happened
United Nations
because
Security
my
Council.
VR headset was on. It was like, it would not come in.
Yeah. For proof, the
I
use
got a
of
VR headset. It took so long.
Yeah.
I was like, damn, you ever given Suez Canal?
for proof the use of a small thermonuclear weapon on the Suez Canal, several miles from the Ever Given's location. The blast itself will not reach the ship. However, the waves generated are expected to dislodge the Ever Given from its present position. Evacuation of the cities along the waterway are in progress.
I can't imagine any way that could go wrong.
Twert Machine, aka T Machine.
I was at the Twitter.
Where
Oh,
did,
yeah,
okay.
it's Twitter.
Where did the ever go? The ship disappeared according to officials. Got up and left. Why is everyone confused?
That's a very Twitter response.
Remembering the ship that was stuck in the Suez Canal just disappeared.
Hey, what the fuck?
It's got
What do you
leggies.
think? It just grew legs and walked away? Oh shit, it did.
Keep in mind, the title of this is Suez Canal Crab.
That does not look like a crab.
The Americans just released a monster. We asked for a sequel to Attack of the Crab Monsters, 1957. I like that. No one asked for a sequel of the American Monsters, 1957. They didn't even give the year.
Like I said, very Twitter-like response.
It is. But yeah, notice that it's like their Twitter, like...
Is older.
Yeah, it's the same year, but because like they don't do. There was a problem with like yeah, so like their way of approaching like technology, for whatever reason, is like different.
Yeah.
The Americans destroyed the Suez Canal and released a demon. Great.
Oh, quad going, guys.
So is the ship alive, or is there something underneath it? April 11th, 2021. Suez Canal crab will not be destroyed, says UNC. I like how they're just all kind of like, we're calling this the Suez Canal crab, and we're just going to roll with it. Just go with it.
Right.
Now a 95-year-old James Dean is going to play on his bongos.
Right. James Dean subdued the canal crab. He went out and played his bongos, and it just, it calmed down and turned right back into a ship.
The crab cannot be eliminated without causing great damage to the Ever Given. In this day and age, the world is unprepared for a loss of a cargo of such magnitude. Therefore, the Suez Canal crab will not be destroyed. So, it's literally like this one ship is like, we think we've got like this kaiju level thing, but we can't use weapons on it because it'll like destroy the cargo ship. And for some reason, the cargo that's being held is like that valuable for them.
Yeah, I feel like that's the cargo that turned the ship into the crab.
Yeah. This time, no containers will be lifted from the ship since low-flying aircraft cause the organism to ambulate unsteadily. Turning the Ever Given back to the sea, efforts are underway to carefully manipulate the crab's route.
James Dean and his bongos.
For Egypt. Barricade 1.
Well, that didn't work.
Barricade 2. Cairo. Dr. Disturbing presents.
Hello. Okay, Ellen, tell me, what do you think about the tower? It's your first visit here, so what do you think about the tower?
I thought it was a really good tower. It was very interesting to go up it. It gave you a really good sense of how big Cairo is, so I really enjoyed it.
That was terrific. It was really great to get kind of a sense of the scale of the city. It's kind of difficult to do that when you're walking around down on the street.
It's a breathtaking view, and it really gives you a terrific perspective of the whole city. And I loved it up there. I spent a couple of hours up on the top.
The 2021 Cairo Tower Stampede.
Due to evacuations around the Suez Canal, millions traveled to Cairo in search of housing. In response to this migration, many building capacity limits for popular attractions were inflated. The Cairo Tower, one of the tallest buildings in Egypt, had its own recommended capacity limit increased from 700 persons to 1,000.
April 16, 2021, 3 days
On
prior.
the evening of April 16th, 2021, upwards of 1,200 visitors toured the Cairo Tower at once. Although
My
concerns of overcrowding had been raised by several staff members, the building manager dismissed their comments. Since the Suez Canal crab would be passing by
They said, quiet, nerds.
Shut up. It'll be fine.
later in the evening, he also encouraged visitors to enter the upper levels of the tower, as that would provide a better vantage point. At 8 p.m., the Suez Canal crab was observed to have turned toward the Cairo Tower and proceeded to approach. Despite an alert sent out by the Egyptian government for civilians to immediately vacate structures in the crab's path, most visitors ignored the warning and stayed on the upper levels of the Cairo Tower as it came near. At 8:15 p.m., the Suez Canal crab was seen to have stumbled, and in an attempt to regain its balance, crashed into one side of the Cairo Tower, killing over 200 people. The resulting tremors that traversed the building damaged its staircases and elevator systems beyond repair. The cascade of shipping containers from the Ever Given, knocked forward by the momentum of the initial stumble, lasted for over 2 minutes, as an estimated 800 containers broke from their locks and pushed forward an additional 1,000 containers. As all 1,800 containers tumbled down through the building, the structural integrity of the Cairo Tower rapidly diminished. Falling debris and containers are reported to have killed over 800 visitors. At 8:19 p.m., the Cairo Tower fully collapsed, dragging the immobilized Suez Canal crab into the ground. In total, only 39 of the 1,189 visitors of the Cairo Tower survived.
Dadgum.
2 of the 15 staff members escaped to safety, including the building manager. None of the 6 security guards survived. Although paramedics and police officers had arrived shortly before the Cairo Tower's collapse, the visibly unstable tower prompted them to collect survivors on the ground and retreat to a safe distance. At 8:41 p.m., a hazardous waste collection team and soldiers of the Egyptian ground forces arrived to contain survivors within mobile quarantine chambers. Due to fears of a potential contagion contracted from the Suez Canal crab, all civilians in the vicinity were placed in quarantine under the authority of Egypt's military in collaboration with the Ministry of Health. Upon impact with the ground, the Suez Canal crab and the Ever Given separated. The large wounds caused by the separation discharged thousands of gallons of seawater and bodily fluids. The hazardous waste collection team.
Oh my gosh.
What?
So,
By the way, I would like to point out that 1,200 people were in this building. They were all on the top floor, and they were like, hey, do you see that terrifying kaiju demon that is taking over that ship coming right towards us? Let's go get a picture.
yeah.
Nobody decided to run.
Yeah. Everyone's like, let's go up higher to it. It's coming this way. Yay.
It's coming right for us.
But yeah, and they're seeming to, because they have like the quarantine. So it also makes me wonder if part of that maybe has to do with the cargo itself. That was like apparently so valuable. That they're talking about, because it says the crab and the Ever Given separated. So it seems that it's like it almost kind of like a hermit crab like creature.
Yeah.
And like the Ever Given became its like shell. So,
yeah, okay.
And then so like when they separated, it caused like
would be like scuttled into the building, and now the
Ever
building is
Given
walking
separated.
around.
Yeah.
The large wounds caused by the separation discharged thousands of gallons of seawater and bodily fluids.
But yeah, all the crab juice. It's like
Cairo
seawater.
smelled like a red lobster for weeks.
It'd be kind of like it's like that episode of The Simpsons where like Homer where they visit New York City and he's having to like wait to get his car from like the World Trade Center in the middle, and there's like that one guy who has like and he can't leave, so he can only get like food and like drinks from like this one stand. It's this guy. It's like only crab kalash, and then it's like, do you have anything to drink us down? Like a soda or something? Like, no soda, only crab juice. And then he has like this bottle of whatever, and then it's like, so basically like thousands of gallons of that stuff that like Homer was like, oh, this is gross, they're terrible. I'll take 10 more.
That's reminds me. What's that movie about the dude who like lives in the hotel? Like he was he escaped his home country, and then like his home country had like a revolution, and so it didn't exist anymore. So he had no country to return back to, and he didn't get accepted into the United States. So he just lived in the airport, which by the way is a real story.
Oh yeah, the Tom Hanks movie where it's I forget the name of it, but yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, did you know that was based on like an actual dude?
I feel like I heard about that at some point. I can't remember.
It's like, to be fair, if I ever wanted like a place to like hunker down and survive, an airport would be a pretty good spot, and so would a Costco.
Yeah.
Me and my mom had a discussion in a Costco the other day where we were like, God, if like the world broke out into chaos, this would be the perfect place to live. And everybody who was shopping was like, what are these two crazy people talking about?
This waste collection team and soldiers attempted to plug the gushing lesions. However, survivors report that their efforts were mostly futile due to the team's inability to stay standing on the slippery ground.
It was like the worst slip and slide ever.
It's like, so you ever seen like the videos of like the people slipping on ice, but like the really smooth ice, and they just look like they're like running manning in place?
Yeah.
I also just love these like PNGs that are used.
Yeah, it's just like it's make feel like there are like some Looney Tunes like stuff of like trying to plug like a boat or something like that, and just like puts his like they're plugged there like the fingers.
About?
Well, that was like, so when the crab and the ship they separated, it like got wounded. So they were like, so like basically both the water and crab fluids were like gushing all over the place. So they're like trying to like plug them up somehow, like to close up these things. But it's just, yeah, they're slipping all. Yeah, it's just becoming a slip and slide.
With the number of accidental falls among the troops on the increasingly wet ground, the Egyptian army diverted its focus from closing wounds on the Suez Canal crab to evacuation efforts. By midnight, the civilian population within a 3-mile radius of the fallen Cairo Tower had been completely evacuated.
April 17th.
On the morning of April 17th, Egyptian authorities publicly announced that the Suez Canal crab had fallen in Cairo and laid in a vegetative state. Although the Cairo exclusion zone was primarily intended to prevent any media coverage of the crab and the surrounding destruction, several journalists managed to record footage of the site through the assistance of private helicopter pilots. By 8 a.m., clips of the crab were trending on Twitter. Members of the Anti-Device Association attributed the severity of the disaster to the development of intelligent devices, specifically Twitter machines. They reasoned that due to the popularity of Twitter in America, the Ever Given was overstocked with T-machines, which weighed the ship down and consequently caused the initial obstruction of the Suez Canal. On Twitter, the ADA released a vicious string of messages criticizing Twitter, Hillary Clinton, and Egypt. Along with images of the Suez Canal crab, photos of scattered goods that had fallen out of the shipping containers became a popular topic of discussion. One image of a sports car resting on top of debris would be retweeted by the ADA with the caption, "The Cairo exclusion zone is a conspiracy to keep goods in Egypt. The American people have been robbed." The tweet was shared by over 10 million users. Taking notice, the ADA followed up with tweets suggesting that an Egyptian soldier had driven home the sports car in the image and that the goods needed to be rescued by their rightful owners. The ADA deemed April 19th as Finders Keepers Day and urged all Americans to travel to Egypt to obtain the goods left by the fallen Suez Canal crab. Overnight, an estimated 12,000 flights to Cairo were booked by American citizens. Although a few trespassers had been apprehended in the Cairo exclusion zone, officials did not foresee any further disruptions at the site. Medical personnel attended to survivors in the quarantine chambers. Soldiers cleared rubble and attempted to control the spread of the Suez Canal crab's bodily fluids. By 5 a.m. on April 19th, approximately 20 million gallons had been contained through aerial drops of sawdust and an extensive effort to mop the premises.
With sawdust. It's literally
That's
like
what you do with like oil spills.
Yeah, I was like, it's like, yeah. I'm just trying to think of it. It's just making me think of like elementary school janitors of just like cleaning up kid messes or whatever. So it's like an army of grade school janitors of just cleaning up crap fluid.
I also love that these people all ordered stuff and got destroyed in like a fucking kaiju attack. And then they're like, so am I still getting my stuff that was supposed to be shipped to me? And the government went, no, fuck you. You can go get it yourself. Go to fucking Cairo and get it. It's not my problem. It's like, oh, thanks.
Well, no, wait. It was the ADA, what's that? That's well, I think that's the ADA. I think that's referring to the Anti-Dean Association. Like, so their
okay,
Twitter.
Because that makes more sense because I looked up ADA. It's Americans with Disabilities Act of 1990. So yeah, I don't think it's that one. Unless.
I mean, this is a pretty wacky series. That's
for every time I get scared, I also laugh of just the absurdity.
Yeah. But yeah, and one of the big things. So what I'm wondering if one of the big reasons is like what they think is because there's like the quarantine. Because they're worried about people being exposed to like the crab fluids for like some reason. Because it seems to be some like on why that would be dangerous. Also, that the implication blaming like the Twitter machines for that there was a whole bunch of them that was like
causing a weight distribution.
Yeah. So that was...
Which is wild, by the way.
Yeah. And apparently that seemed to make up for a big amount of the cargo. So kind of like saying one of the reasons that they like, we have to use a nuclear bomb to help dislodge this thing because the cargo is so valuable.
Over that part.
Yeah. Well, it was like, well, we don't use it on the thing. We'll use it on it is one of those.
We'll use it miles away, cause a tsunami to dislodge the ship. Which, like I said, we glanced over that's just insane.
Yeah. But then again, this thing is titled Suez Canal crab because we have like a giant hermit crab creature using the Ever Given freighter ship as its shell.
It's those big tall things from Half-Life. It's literally those like big tall aliens from Half-Life. Like I can't remember what they're called. The other thing I'm thinking of is the Ash Lurkers from the Skyrim Dragonborn DLC in Morrowind.
Oh yeah.
I'm such a nerd.
No, I mean, I feel you're good.
although several officials discussed a plan to lay down military-grade mats to enable the hazardous material collection team to walk up to the crab for closer analysis, it was ultimately decided that no further action would be taken until the following evening, as it was believed that the midday sun would evaporate most of the fluid. At 12 p.m., over 12,000 Americans gathered in front of the gated entrance of the Cairo exclusion zone. 4,000 Egyptian police officers and soldiers stood behind the perimeter to guard the exclusion zone from trespassers. At 12:03 p.m., violence erupted when an American shot a police officer in the face. Consequently, tear gas was used on the raging mob. Tanks and heat rays arrived shortly afterwards to deter any trespassers. However, by 12:10 p.m., the front entrance gates of the Cairo exclusion zone collapsed from the force of the charging crowd. Informed of the approaching Americans, medical personnel and survivors at the epicenter began to vacate the premises. By 12:43 p.m., the first Americans were seen by officials at the epicenter. Although the wet ground was expected to significantly slow their approach, several citizens had arrived earlier than anticipated since they had utilized car hubcaps to slide quickly across the ground. With no law enforcement at the scene, the American citizens began to collect fallen goods and pry open shipping containers.
Oh my gosh, this series
Popular
is
goods
peak comedy.
included furniture, firearms,
amazing.
processed food, tea machines, bars of gold, automobiles, and designer clothing. As Americans continued to arrive at the epicenter, more injuries from accidental falls were observed. Concussions and broken arms were the most common injuries during the initial break-in. At 1 p.m., several fights broke out over a Ford pickup truck that had rolled out from a container and crushed a family.
That's not worth
3
it.
aggressors were shot by a man who had found a rifle. The conflict fueled an unpleasant atmosphere, with more
An unpleasant atmosphere. A little bit of an understatement. Can we go back to a Ford truck got mowed over a family? I'm sorry, what?
And keep in mind, once again, all this is happening like in the shadow of a giant comatose crab
demon.
monster that's like fluids are all over the
Everywhere.
place.
This fucking like little animation that they do too is peak.
rolled out from a container and crushed a family.
Wow.
3 aggressors were shot by a man.
Is something funny, Cass?
I would just like to inform everyone that this is what Mall of America is like on Black Friday.
Man who had found a rifle. The conflict fueled an unpleasant atmosphere, with more instances of gun violence as time went on. One notable incident saw the discovery of a container of firearms by a group of young children. The accidental firing of an automatic weapon by one child prompted the intervention of their parents and other adults.
They have,
No!
put down the gun, Timmy.
It appears we're at a Mexican standoff, Mom.
It's that it's like literally like there's that episode of like South Park that it's like it's the season finale of one of their episodes where they're all like at a gun show where it's like a whatever and everyone has guns and they start pointing all their guns at each other and it's like, listen. Literal hot skin.
The resulting verbal argument escalated quickly and broke out into a full-scale gunfight with over 14 armed subjects, including the children. Another fight erupted after the discovery of a deluxe barbecue grill, which 13 Americans had simultaneously called dibs on when the item was
Listen, I'd kill someone for a Traeger. Those things are insane. All those
pulled out of a shipping container. All 13 Americans died from gun-related wounds.
I thought this was supposed to be an analog horror series. This is hilarious.
Has there ever been?
Dibs.
There would have never been a more American death than like just 13
Calling
Americans
dibs and
calling
getting
dibs over a deluxe barbecue grill and just shooting each other.
So no one got the grill. It's still up. 13 more can gather.
I've never felt so patriotic right now.
Right.
When the last wave of the 12,000 Americans had entered the epicenter, overcrowding ensured that the accidental fall of one individual would trigger a continuous series of additional
Full
falls.
Looney Tunes,
Without
let's go.
any open space for the midday sunlight to reach the wet ground, the bodily fluid had no time to evaporate, and the number of falls steadily increased. At around 1:30 p.m., one of the posterior legs of the Suez Canal crab twitched and incited panic in a nearby crowd. As Americans attempted to flee, many fell on the slippery ground and were trampled by those rushing behind them. By 1:33 p.m., the screams of the panicked crowd had reached a deafening volume, reportedly being heard over
They
5
woke up
miles
the
away.
crab.
Due to the reinforcement of the Cairo exclusion zone's gates and orders from the Ministry of Health to prevent any American citizen from leaving the exclusion zone, the massive crowds were kept inside the 3-mile radius of the epicenter, held in place by an orderly line of tanks that flanked the entirety of the zone's perimeter. The gates stood for over 6 hours as Americans ran from the epicenter. Many soldiers became ill at the sight of injuries caused by the thousands of bodies being crushed into the metal bars. By
They really turned
7:15
into the
p.m.,
World War Z
everyone
zombies.
within a half-mile of the gate
Gosh.
had perished from extreme pressure. Heat exhaustion,
Jesus.
accidental falls, and gun violence were also major causes of death. The Cairo exclusion zone gates were opened at 8 p.m. Soldiers searched for the remaining survivors. Of the over 12,000 Americans who had arrived, only 944 survived.
USA.
Holy shit.
USA. USA. USA.
Oh my God, that's unfortunately insanely accurate.
77 of the American survivors were found kneeling around the Suez Canal crab and claimed to have been promised from a deity that they would survive if they prayed to the crab.
Save us, save me, crab Jesus.
John, don't grab that grill. Pray to me, the almighty crab. But I really want that grill. Don't grab the damn grill.
Bring offerings of melted butter to the crab.
They called this incident the Lobster Fest.
However, none of them could account for the remains of dead worshippers that littered the ground around them. They would later establish the Church of the Ever Given during their stay at a local hospital.
I would love
Howard
the
Melrose,
Church of the
an American
Crab.
journalist
are
permitted
the
to
Church
visit
of the
the Cairo
Crab.
exclusion zone the day after the stampede, said of the site, "It looked like something from a medieval painting. All of their bodies were jammed into each other. Everyone became one."
What kind of medieval paintings are you looking at?
I guess it would be like either the paintings that would be like of like medieval battlefields.
A literal Tom Scott skin.
Yeah.
Give the grill up as sacrifice.
Yeah, as like either the paintings where it's like of big battles, because they're kind of like the different figures do kind of like when it's like when they're depicting large groups, they do kind of look
Oh yeah, they do
kind of go a
blend
little
in.
bit.
Yeah.
Also, you know, just like medieval depictions of like hell, you know, like on
Oh yeah.
so that one of those two, because those could be pretty metal.
They say it's a World Heritage Site. I just imagine you like show up there and there's just like a statue of a bronze grill
Yeah.
in commemoration of all those who have died. Sponsored by McCormick.
Do you think they just like, do you think at the Church of the Ever Given, like the ceremony's like the sort of like the hymns would be like, you know, rock lobster, and then like and then like just crab rave.
I was gonna say, try to find another crab or lobster related song. You did. I would not have been able to get those. I do love the idea of just like
Rock
and now
lobster, do 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 do. Rock lobster.
no, it's just and now we play the song of our Lord and Savior. Rock lobster.
Or it's like the Simpsons thing where it's like Bart switches out the like the hymnal music or whatever they're gonna play, where it's Inagata Davida, so like the organ player is like playing like this 60s psychedelic like guitar solo, but like on that. So it's like that for like Church of Heaven, but it's like for Rob Lobster.
That's amazing. You ever seen that video of the dude who plays the piano and like with his sheet music upside down?
Oh. Okay, we got an ad starting, so we're gonna do that, and then we'll be right back.
All right.
Next video is Dean Disaster.
Going back to Dean.
Yeah.
James Dean.
All right, we'll see y'all in just a few. All right, we're back. Like from our commercial break. I hope people got good commercials.
I got a weird one about like internet.
Mm-hmm.
Like, no thanks, I already paid too much for that.
All right. So how are we so far? How are we gearing up for how are we
man,
feeling?
after the last one, I'm feeling ready. I'm feeling patriotic as hell. I'm ready to get back into
Oh yeah.
back into this.
Yeah. That was just peak that was peak cinema, seriously.
That was, oh my god, that was amazing.
That was Kino. All right. Let's go for a Dean Disaster. And it's 14 minutes long. So yeah, we are eating good.
Buckle up.
Strap in your bongos, kids. Teen Disaster, the story of America's worst TV hijacking.
During a broadcast of ABC Evening News, anchor Frank Reynolds told viewers to be prepared for tomorrow and that they would witness the start of a glorious adventure. Word spread quickly throughout the country, and civilians invited friends and family to their homes in anticipation of the next day. Although no details of this glorious adventure were known, it was widely presumed to be another exciting TV announcement from President James Dean. Watching parties were organized in living rooms across America, and on the evening of May 13th, 1969, after the ABC Evening News ended,
Come on, Martha, he's gonna play his
closely watched
bongos.
with millions of unblinking eyes. No one
I had
wanted
my
to
water
miss
bottle right
what
up to my
President
mouth.
Dean had to say.
James Dean's America is hell. But you still don't believe us. You'll hear the truth from James Dean himself.
Oh?
Immediately following the broadcast, air raid sirens activated across all 50 states.
Holy
The
cow.
sirens blared at a far greater volume than usual and burst the eardrums of every civilian within a 4-mile radius.
Oh! Oh!
Dadgum.
Oh! You ever had your eardrums burst?
Once.
Oh my god, it's one of the worst pains. It's so
Or let's see, it may not burst, but like punctured maybe.
Mm-hmm.
I poked too hard with the Q-tip.
I fear that every time I use a Q-tip. I'm like, I'm going to destroy myself. But I just need to itch.
Or let's see, I was doing stupid stuff with the Q-tip as a kid, and then yeah, so.
Ooh, yeah, so, yeah. Ugh, it hurts. I used to get real bad ear infections when I was younger. And yeah, I got one that burst burst my right eardrum so bad. I like fell to the ground screaming in pain like I just gotten shot. It hurt so bad. And then like afterwards it was just like, you know what I mean? It's like, oh, the relief, but ow, the pain.
Mm.
The resulting panic triggered severe overcrowding at bomb shelters and deadly stampedes in the streets. Thousands were trampled and hospitals were overwhelmed within the hour. Fires broke out in all major cities, and cars left running in the streets produced lethal amounts of carbon monoxide, which flowed into poorly ventilated bomb shelters and suburban homes.
Yay!
Oh, damn.
In Washington, D.C., the White House was placed into lockdown immediately after the TV hijacking, and President Dean was rushed to a maximum security underground bunker. Able to hear the anguished
Fallout
screams
style.
of civilians in the streets above, Dean refused to stay in the shelter. When carbon monoxide alarms went off in the bunker, he urged his staff to exit the White House with him and shut off the vehicles left on the roadways. With a phone call, Dean mobilized the National Guard to assist with the deactivation of the millions of parked vehicles across America. Several more phone calls to high-ranking military officials and world leaders revealed that no nuclear missiles had in fact been launched. President Dean soon realized that the air raid sirens had been hijacked by a domestic organization and immediately ordered all forces of the military to disable every active siren in the nation. When military technicians arrived at the location of the sirens, they found that the bodies of prior technicians, who had perished from the combination of stress and the siren's sheer volume, piled so high as to have formed a ramp to the top of the speakers.
Dadgum.
Oh my
The
god!
overcrowding of streets by civilians and unaccompanied cars frequently blocked the path of emergency vehicles and prolonged the process of disarming the sirens. Against his advisors' wishes, President Dean tasked himself with the deactivation of an air siren near the White House.
That's my boy,
Although
of course
he
he
would
did.
accomplish the task fairly quickly, Dean sustained permanent ear damage and was rendered fully deaf. The sheer volume had also caused countless blood vessels in his body to burst and produce several abdominal hernias. His condition was shared among the millions of other Americans who had been near the sirens at the time of their activation.
Welcome in, Meg
3
Lester.
hours would
Remember the
pass
Deanist
before all
uprising hits?
air raid sirens would be fully disabled. The next morning, at the advice of federal authorities, civilians slowly made their way from the shelters back to their homes. Although some continued to stay in the shelters for fear of radioactive fallout, most accepted the explanation given by military officials over the radio. There is no nuclear holocaust. A domestic terrorist organization hijacked the sirens of America. The streets were littered with bodies and automobiles. The National Guard handed out blindfolds to the young, sick, and elderly as they exited the shelters to prevent the scenes of bloodshed from causing fainting spells and heart attacks. At the Walt Disney Medical Center, physicians examined President Dean and other members of his...
The
What? No.
the
Go
Walt
back.
the Walt
Go
Disney.
back forward. What is that?
Wait.
...of bloodshed from causing fainting spells and heart attacks. At the Walt Disney Medical Center...
So yeah, Walt Disney has a medical center in the Deanverse.
No, that's a refer loop, but go forward by like 2
Physicians
seconds and then pause
examined
again.
President Dean and other members...
That. What is that? What is that?
It's the Walt
Is that
Disney.
a bear, man?
It's the Walt Disney Medical Center.
It's me, Dr. Mickey Mouse.
members of his staff who helped disarm the sirens.
Well, I guess maybe like Mickey Mouse is like a bear instead of a mouse in the Deanverse.
Maybe.
All were diagnosed with severe hearing loss. Against his doctor's...
But they just couldn't hear. But they just
Sir,
wouldn't
you've,
hear it.
Sir, I hate to say this, but your hearing is gone. You'll never be able to regain it. What? What'd you say? Sir, I said you're deaf. What?
advice, Dean insisted on issuing a public statement on the traumatic events that had transpired. Although he initially wanted to appear on live television, a glance at the mirror discouraged him, as he saw the countless bruises and tears present on his skin due to the intensity of the sirens. In coordination with technicians from the Department of Defense, President Dean instead organized a large-scale radio broadcast, utilizing the very air raid sirens they had disabled. Later that night, a bruised Frank Reynolds would announce on ABC Evening News that Dean would speak through the sirens and that captions would be displayed simultaneously on television for viewers who were hard of hearing.
Which was quite a few.
Which was most of them. You ever seen how an air raid siren works? Or just a siren in general?
Well, I mean, like, I don't see the inner parts or whatever.
This is funny. I just had like a TikTok roll across my For You page the other day where a guy showed that basically it's spinning motor
Mm-hmm.
that like because it spins so fast, it causes like air to try to like it pushes air up, and then the air tries to escape out of like these like slits in the design, which that it gets pushed out of the siren with so much force that it's basically like whistling out, and that's what causes that sound is the wind just trying to whistle out of the siren that way.
Okay. So
It's
there's
really
like
cool.
giant mechanized whistles, pretty much.
Yeah, exactly.
That is neat.
Oh, please tell me I get to hear him speak.
It's Jimmy speaking.
Oh.
I'm sorry. Very sorry for what's come to pass. I wish I could bring back your friends, your family. I want to fix everything. This is not the announcement I planned for. But as you know, there are people who have it in for us. The Anti-Dean Association. They hijack our systems. They hurt people. The Anti-Dean Association is an anti-American association. I want you to keep an eye out for them. They will not be hard to find because they are very proud of their silly ideas. Find them and bring them to your local authorities. We'll make things right. We have places for people like them. This is Jimmy signing off.
We have places for people like them. That's not foreboding as a whole.
Nor is it topical in the slightest. I love, by the way, the use of the word silly.
Yeah.
Yes, the death of almost probably thousands of Americans and the permanent crippling of the rest of the American people is a little silly, if you ask me.
Yeah.
Little hee hee ha ha moment.
We do a little trolling here.
Just a little trolling. Meanwhile, James Dean can't hear. I was like waiting for him to speak because I thought it was going to be like, my fellow Americans.
Yeah.
Over the next week, hundreds of thousands of anti-Deaners would be apprehended and sent to correctional facilities around the United States. These facilities, meant for the anti-American, were aptly located near or at national monuments in order to symbolize a return to...
I wonder if part of it, okay, so this is, I love conspiracy theories, even if I don't believe them. This kind of makes me go, I wonder if the government did it, but blamed the Anti-Dean like association.
Yeah, because it's like, just think about it. It's like immediately
so much
like
involved.
Yeah, immediately like thousands of people are like just like found up. Oh, we found some, and then also, you know, it's like the scale of the. It's suspicious that they were able to find so many so quickly. And then also,
they even said it was every siren.
Yeah, and it was like every siren across the United States that somehow they were all able to hijack
simultaneously at once, blare at maximum volume, which they don't even do for, like, you know how you've probably heard like weather sirens,
right?
Do you guys have the first Wednesday of every month?
Yeah,
the first Wednesday. Yeah, where the sirens go off. That's not even close to max volume.
Yeah.
Like, that's a little suspicious.
Yeah.
American virtues. Most would stay for merely a few weeks before being released again. Friends and family of rehabilitated anti-Deaners frequently claimed that they would have improved personalities, no recollection of their past criminal activities, and even slightly altered physical appearances.
My husband became sexier after visiting the anti-Dean camp.
Yeah. And keep in mind, that what it reminds me of? That reminds me of the kids.
Oh, yeah.
With the Christmas kids, because it's like, they're the same.
They were the same, but they also weren't. Because, like, some of the kids, like, didn't look like their parents, but they still had the same, like, names.
Yeah.
And then some of them did, but didn't have the same names. Like,
yeah, or there were slight different, like, physical, like, differences. From how they were and then like other, like, no memory of, like, the criminal activity and stuff like that. So I'm wondering if that's part of it.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
These methods were so effective in calming the terrorist that many innocent civilians requested themselves to be sent to these facilities in hopes of radically changing their lives. However, federal authorities would deny any admission to those who were not affiliated with the ADA. During one address, President Dean acknowledged the high volume of requests from the public.
He paused real quick. Because you know that in this, it would be some stupid thing. Like, honey, you're acting a little bit crazy these past couple of days. I'm sending you to the anti-Dean camp. We need to improve. It's like what they would do for, like, quote unquote mental health, like, back then.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It was like, you just had a baby and now you're acting all depressed? Well, to the Dean camp for you.
Looks like Sally. Looks like my 15-year-old daughter Sally is acting kind of moody. Operator, get me the Dean camps.
Get me President Dean stat.
My son wants to join the marching band instead of play football. I think he needs to go to the Dean camps.
I sent my son there because he wanted to learn music, and now he loves sports and also has blue eyes now. That's new.
Hey, it's Jimmy again. A lot of you
Oh, what up,
won't be
homie?
sent to the same places we're sending those anti-Deaners to. I get it. Those who come out of these places, they look clean as a whistle. But if we send you to those places too, then those correctional facilities lose their purpose. If we send everyone to prison, then what's a prison anymore? This is Jimmy signing off.
Hey, it's Jimmy again.
On the morning of May 22nd, 9 days after the disaster, President Dean received a state-of-the-art hearing implant from Maze Machines, an up-and-coming tech company.
Hey, Maze.
Around noon at the Walt Disney Medical Center,
That looks like the
device was
Scientology building. I forgot about the Walt Disney, the whole Walt Disney Medical Center.
Yes.
surgically inserted into Dean. The sound quality of the implant and the speedy nature of the surgery inspired Dean to imagine a new government department, which would be able to oversee the mass production and distribution of quality hearing implants to the American public. That evening,
I could use
President
that.
Dean requested an emergency session of Congress and proposed the ambitious project.
I can't hear a damn thing. Did you hear me? I can't hear a damn thing. Neither can you, or you, or you, or you. It doesn't matter whether you were near the sirens or not. None of you are listening. We need to bring together those technology companies to build and send hearing devices that the public needs. Hearing devices that you yourself need. And through a collaboration with the Department of Health, we can give back to the people what our failures took away. We can let a mother hear her child laugh again, and let a man hear his dog again. We can give everyone their hearing again. And who's stopping you? Listen to the public. You're all about deadlines too. So here's one. By July 4th, I want every American to hear the fireworks.
It does kind of go
Due
hard.
to a malfunction in his auditory implants, Dean was unable to hear himself and as a result spoke much louder on the Senate floor than on previous occasions. The volume of his speech, which greatly amplified his compassion for the American people, profoundly affected the senators, and in the early hours of May 23, 1969, after 10 hours of discussion,
You gotta love how every quote accident or something that happens somehow becomes a positive for Dean.
Yeah.
It's very much a pattern with him.
Also, they would not make that cool of a logo back in this time.
Yeah.
In 1969.
Department of
That looks
Technology
straight up out of a science fiction film.
Yeah.
That looks like something that would be the bad guy's logo.
was approved. It was the fastest an executive
Dean
department
sneezed and
had
the world
ever been
unbranded. Yeah.
established. By May 27th, all persons with hearing loss attributed to the anti-Dean disaster would be eligible for the surgical implantation of a hearing device free of charge. Mass operating rooms would be established throughout the U.S., able to house over 1,000 patients at once. The use of surgical androids was approved on June 6th, which increased the number of surgeries performed per day over 250%.
If I walk into a doctor's room and I see that, I'm walking right back out. That's the scare. Hello, I'm here to treat you. Nope, I'm good. No thanks, iRobot. I'm good.
Yeah. So yeah, there's this big domestic terrorist attack, and then as a result, that of course James Dean took out on his own thing to rescue people at taking his own injuries and stuff like that. And then as a result, there's a new department in the government that's formed in collaboration with once again Maze, which we know is up to shenanigans from the previous couple videos ago.
Yeah.
So
their computers are killing people.
Yeah. Or we don't know exactly what the computers they somehow got used for something. Their manufacturers' facilities, they were definitely offing people. And also keep in mind we have these large amounts of camps that are at national monuments where people are which
quote unquote being rehabilitated.
Yes.
Treated, those with deafness unrelated to the disaster also became eligible for the surgery. On July 4th, it was announced that there was no...
I'm so... Did they give the ability to hear to Helen Keller?
Yeah. Yep.
Dude, I gotta be honest. I subscribe to the theory that Helen Keller was basically used by her her caretakers. You ever heard this theory?
No, I haven't.
The person who taught it's basically it's a conspiracy theory that the person who taught Helen Keller to speak, write, and do everything that she could do was basically using her to push a political agenda because she was, everybody would want to pay attention to the blind, deaf, mute child, basically.
Right.
Because she had the same caretaker for years, And
Oh yeah.
and Helen Keller would talk about like and give speeches about all these like things that lined up with what her caretakers thought, and then when that caretaker eventually ended up passing away, all of a sudden it was like it was completely different. She didn't understand. It's this whole thing. It's hard to get into, but I kind of am like, I wonder, because that is something that like people would do. Like, it's kind of evil, but people would definitely
Yeah.
like, hey, I could use this for political gain. So I just imagine if she could hear, and they're like, we really love your speeches and everything. And she's like, what are you talking about? I did what now?
Keller urges interest rate hike as inflation. Video by Soup Emporium discusses this in detail.
Yeah,
that is interesting. I'll have to I'll need to look that up. I need to get into that rabbit hole.
It's kind of crazy because it's one of those rabbit holes that you're like, oh, that seems crazy. But is it out of the realm of possibility?
What? People exploiting the disabled? That never happens.
No, never. No. God, I can't think of a single time ever in history where that ever happened. No.
P.T. Barnum, P.T. Barnum sweating in a corner. But I have a musical about me now.
Yeah, a wildly inaccurate musical. My ex-wife loved that movie and musical. And I just, every time I watched it, I'm like, hey, that's not what happened, like, at all. And then other times be like, hey, that is what happened, but you are ignoring the glaring issue here.
Yeah.
Incidents of severe hearing loss in the country.
That was really good.
Oh, yeah.
The United States was the first nation in the world to eradicate deafness. The achievement had been expected for some time since its first mention during Dean's congressional address. In preparation, many health organizations, both domestic and international, had prepared to host banquets for Dean and grant awards to him and his staff. However, President Dean spent the entirety of Independence Day racing cars with close friend Richard Nixon at a local speedway.
Of course he did.
Though many would cite the recovery from the anti-Dean disaster as James Dean's finest hour, the president was never willing to accept responsibility.
All we did was fix some ears.
Yeah. So that's fine. And keep in mind, we have, like, during the anti-Dean Association, because we're sure that's what it was, like, the ADA and and the Suez Canal crab incident, that they were sending out, like, all the tweets about, like, hey, there's all these American products that you're being stolen from or whatever, and then, like, you just got to go ahead and get them.
Yeah, the American people are being robbed, kind of.
Yeah, so every time this mystery organization, like, says something,
like, pops up,
yeah, like, a bunch of Americans, like,
go ape shit and fight
and
each other over grills and get in gunfights with children.
Yeah, a bunch of Americans die, pretty much, is gonna be guaranteed. So and you know, we never hear anything about any specific leadership or whatever. It's just like this specter that's just like, it's the Anti-Dean Association. Ooh, spooky.
There are jokes I want to make, but that are not good to make.
Yeah. It very much is kind of like the, you know, the Red Scare kind of, like, thing like during that same time period of or whatever.
Oh, it is.
It's very
Especially with the
yeah
camps.
yeah. So very much like the McCarthyism like type of like they're a communist. Oh, they're a
Yeah.
communist.
The anti-Dean.
Yeah. All
I
right.
can't hear shit. President James D.
Oh yeah.
I do love that third comment. It's so true. I like how Dean is portrayed as both some sort of shady semi-human sometimes and genuinely good president other times.
Yeah. See, wait, hold on. Walt Disney Medical Center may sound silly, but consider this. Walt Disney worked for the Red Cross as an ambulance driver during the 1918 flu pandemic. It doesn't seem too implausible to me that Walt could have pursued that line of work instead of animation in this alternate history scenario. That's true.
I mean, I guess when you put it that way, but there's something so great about being jump scared by the Walt Disney Medical Center. That's the only jump scares that are in this series are just the jump scares of the Walt Disney Medical Center. The what? James Dean is president. Who? What?
See, John D. Rockefeller was elected president twice. Walt Disney was in the medical industry. What a strange universe this is. See,
I do love that one right there is exactly how I feel. The running gag of, and he spent all day at the racetrack with Nixon.
Yeah. Oh, this person I do too. I know Dean is probably evil, but the line "On July 4th, I want every American to hear the fireworks" is such a good line.
That was so good. That went hard, dude.
Hold on, let's see. My uncle was an anti-Deaner. We never talked about it before because it was always embarrassed, but apparently my dad turned him in like shortly after the disaster. When he came back from the Alamo rehab site, he was much more pleasant and acted pretty confused about the whole incident. At first, we thought he was pretending because of the guilt and all, but then he started complaining about how his room was all wrong. He had no recollection of Mays, complained he worked for a company called Anodyne, and that Nixon had been elected president. It's pretty weird. We feared it was him being an old kook because we like nonsense about monuments and stuff. What disturbed my dad was when he had a poolside barbecue and noticed that he's using his right hand and his appendectomy scar was on the right side. My dad swears by Freedom's sword that his brother was always left-handed like most folk and had an appendix taken from the left side. Mom convinced him not to start no trouble or worry over it, but it always eyed our uncle nervously after that.
I love when I love when people do things like that, like little one-off like little I feel like these are great creative writing challenges too.
Yeah.
Of like write about this something from this alternate universe. It's kind of like early ARGs game jacking. Like sometimes they had some interesting game jacks. So cuz like if you remember years ago when they had the Slenderverse, that basically started as game jacking, where like Marble Hornets created their version of like Slender Man, and then when they did that, some other people started making a series inspired by that, which then other people got inspired by that series and put themselves into there. That's what created the Slenderverse. I love these little like when people see this and they go, what can I do too to kind of make this like to make this interesting, or to kind of like give like my own thoughts and context. I love it.
Yeah. And I very much like the YouTube comments in these. This is like this is why like I really the YouTube comment series, the YouTube comment section on these videos is like great.
Mm-hmm.
There are some. It was kind of like one of the things, like one of my criticisms, I guess, would be on when it was the Mandela catalog. Like it seemed like half of the videos had the comments turned off.
There was I know the reason for that though, and I do understand. The Mandela catalog got so popular that There's a point where things become really popular, and the comments are just infected with a lot of negativity and things like that. You know what I mean?
Right.
So sometimes I see it and it's like, yeah, it's disappointing, even if I do understand it. Mandela Catalog, especially because because there was controversy with them a little while ago that ended up being nothing, if I remember correctly.
Hmm.
It was either them or the Walton Files, one of the two.
Nickelback
The
effect.
Nickelback effect. Oh, dude, yeah. As a longtime Nickelback enjoyer, yeah.
Okay. So next one is Starry Sphinx.
Oh, now we're getting like Well, I guess the Suez Crab was international,
Yeah.
but
we get another Egypt one.
Mm-hmm.
Starry Sphinx and related phenomena. Video 1.
On Mars?
2F1. Okay, and once again, that's like the true...
TFMD.
That's the true weapons of mass destruction or whatever it is.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah. So, one on Mars is kind of...
Oh, there it is. There he goes.
Oh, yeah, that's a Sphinx.
On Mars? Wait a minute. What?
Are there monuments on Mars?
Imagine, like, landing in Mars and just turning over and you just see a pyramid.
Yeah. Let's see. Excerpts from an interview recovered from an arson scene. Unrestored.
I'm so dyslexic, I thought that said arson scientist. I was like, huh?
Egypt was entirely against excavation. They had every right to be upset when we went ahead with it anyway. They said that their system worked for thousands of years and would continue to protect the country. It's right. At the time, the president and our military did not care. They viewed their solution as a problem and desperately needed a better solution. American solution. Which in this case was excavation.
You're goddamn right. We need an American solution. Oh,
So
salute the flag.
So it's saying that there was like, and said there was an Egyptian like system that would seem to like work.
Yeah.
So it's wondering if it's, I guess, like Egyptian monuments, if they're having like their own thing, and then like the Americans are like going in to kind of muck things up. If we can do it better.
Because we're American. Of course we can.
We've only been around for 250 years, but we can figure it out. Or whatever time I'm guessing it would be based on like this. I'm guessing this would be like 60s or something like that. So, or 70s. So that would basically be like 250 years.
We're still an incredibly young nation.
Yeah.
With little to no history. But we got a bongo playing president.
TFMD leaves Mars.
My God. Look at it go.
Space. Gotta go to space.
I'm going to one place that hasn't been tainted by capitalist greed. Space.
You know I have that, right?
Do you?
Yes.
Oh, wait, you do? I think I've redeemed it before.
Yes. It's like the space, or I'm escaping.
I'm escaping.
Let me see. I should have enough points. Oh, there we go.
Space.
There you go.
I love that, man.
Classified as TFMDs by the U.S., excavation was inevitable.
See, once the pyramids
True forces
were
of mass destruction.
Yeah, true for okay. And it's the freaking pyramids, dadgum.
On Mars.
Acknowledged by UN Security Council as the single most dangerous threat to humanity. Of course, this was before climate change and mankind was classified as TFMDs under the Bush administration. At the time, it meant that the pyramids required immediate action.
TFMD enters Earth's atmosphere. Yeah, it's the freaking Sphinx.
Imagine Scott like stargazing. You look up. Honey, is that the fucking Sphinx coming down on us? My dear, I'm afraid we are about to be crushed by a Sphinx.
The ancient pharaohs personally appointed workers to guard it, with some years of their lives striking the trees. They were equipped with the finest music glass blades, which is substances to inhale muscle fatigue and induce insomnia, so they would be able to hit the trees for several nights in a row. The goal was not to cut down any of the trees, of course. That wouldn't be possible until 1945. Rather, the intention was to shift the tree's focus from upward growth to internal repairs. The ancient Egyptians knew that they could not permanently halt the tree's germination, but by prolonging their growth, the Egyptians bought themselves time to build enormous towers that would better contain the trees.
Okay, so we're getting to, like, once again, more, quote, trees that are specifically that were for a period of time were, like, kind of pruned, basically, by these guys working nonstop and by the pharaohs until they could do, like, a more permanent of, like, encasing them in, like, monuments.
Okay. Also, I wonder, you mentioned like Giza glass.
Yeah.
Or I wonder, like, because they said he had swords made of it, and that just made me think of a Makahito, I think is how you pronounce it. You know what I'm talking about?
I don't think so.
It's Makuhito. So Makuhito is an Aztec weapon. It's basically a baseball bat, but they like on the sides of it.
They're the obsidian
really
things.
Really sharp pieces of obsidian.
Yeah.
So on your glass sword, that's kind of what I think of.
Yeah.
Like a glass Makahito.
But yeah, let's see. There may get more because like the next video after this one is called Giza Guardian.
Giza Guardian. Yeah.
So, and they refer to as Giza Glass, so.
He's attacked. Ooh.
Wait a minute. Because I remember more about Giza Glass or whatever, but I'm trying to remember if I think they were mentioned in the ones with the. Were they mentioned before in where it's like the big floating heads?
I don't remember. I don't remember that. That'd
like
be down more.
That we're at the.
That'd be towards the end of season 1 because the Canyon Crown.
I can't remember if those were mentioned. All right.
I don't remember either. I don't think so.
Within the first week of excavation, we had found the pyramids extending much deeper into the sand than we had previously thought. The more we dug, the more bricks we had found had already been laid. At the time, we had convinced ourselves that the pyramids had these hidden structures. It would only be a matter of time before we would reach the bottom. By the third week, we realized that we had been wrong the whole time. The pyramids extended down infinitely. You can imagine our reluctance to tell the public that the pyramids were not pyramids at all. There were towers, infinite towers, all 3 of them. Towers which contained enormous species of metaphysical flora. Who knew that the pyramids were merely the tips of buildings?
Dadgum. That is crazy to think about, considering how freaking massive those things are.
Yeah, because they're not small in the slightest.
Yeah.
And to think that that's literally like a tip of the iceberg, like 1% of it.
Yeah,
oh my
they
God.
just keep going down.
They just kept going.
Yeah. shapeshifting as false children land.
Well, that's not terrifying at all. Aliens.
Someone turned on light
My
mode.
eyes!
False children organize into the Starry Sphinx.
I swear, if they're about to show me a Gundam, like a Sphinx Gundam. What the fuck was that? It looks like a drone light show.
Yeah. It's like...
Interesting. Haunts.
The Starry Sphinx distracts her as mothership flees. Video affected by radiation.
Does radiation affect videos? I think it does. I don't remember if it does.
When bombarding the camera, kind of, okay.
Is it moving?
Yeah.
Okay.
But, like, not a lot, okay. The Great Pyramids rise.
Ooh, I want to see this.
The other pyramids awaken.
Video affected by radiation. You all just realize?
What?
Washington Monument.
Oh yeah, it's like a little small pyramid.
Yeah.
Because it is an obelisk.
Yeah.
So basically, like the pyramids are like giant obelisks.
Yeah, okay.
Don't make a joke. Don't make a joke. Don't make a joke. Don't make a joke.
I'm trying, man. I'm not. Listen.
We're
I'm
both
right
like,
there. I'm like,
both like, no,
sweating
don't do it.
bullets.
Don't do it.
Don't do it. There's so much career ahead of you.
Don't. We are not on a Google Doc yet. We can make it.
No.
Okay, there's 3 of them. Then that's right. There's
Four of them.
Yeah. Wait.
There's 5 of them. How many pyramids do they have? There's 6 of them.
How many pyramids are there at Giza?
3.
I mean, I think there are more. I mean, there's the 3 really big ones, but I think there are like smaller ones. Hold on.
Yeah, I'm looking this up. How many pyramids in Egypt?
Well, in Giza specifically.
Okay. In Egypt, there's approximately 118.
Yeah.
So Giza. 3 main pyramids and at least 11 smaller ones.
Okay.
Really?
Okay. Yeah, that's what I remember. Because there's like quite a few. There's like the really big. There's the big daddies, but then
There's the 3
like,
main ones: the Pyramid of Giza, the Great Pyramid, and they may be the same.
So yeah.
Pyramid of Giza, the Sphinx, and the Pyramid of Khafre. Okay.
Yeah. So it's one of those things that was like pyramids were very much the in thing for a period of time. And of course then you have like, so there's a lot of them in Egypt, and but even like just in the Giza ones, I knew there was like a number. Present situation, Sphinx, pyramids.
There's 100 pyramids in Mexico?
Yep.
Whoa. That's a lot of pyramids.
Wait.
This is the current situation.
Yeah. Yeah, I was trying to.
Well, we're cooked. You know what this looks like? You ever seen that optical illusion where if you stare, like white dots appear in the blank space that don't exist?
Uh-huh.
That's what it totally like reminded me of then.
Oh.
Because I started seeing like white spots.
Produced by the anti. Oh, excuse me. No, wait. I almost
the
read.
ADA!
Well, no, wait. I read it wrong. The Anti-Device Association.
Oh, you still thought it was anti-Dean?
Yeah.
Okay.
So this would be the AA, I guess. Although that does make me wonder, since it's both like an ADA. It depends on if there. I mean, if there's a hyphen there, but it does make me wonder. But yeah. So I was trying to figure out if it does mean if that mean the Sphinx that was like there like got replaced by this one that flew in basically from Mars.
Mm-hmm.
Or one made of energy. So yeah. That's
very interesting.
Yeah. Okay, let's see. I do have an ad break coming up again.
Okay.
Although how are like you on time? I guess are we good for maybe at least like another 30 minutes after the
Oh yeah,
right?
definitely.
Okay. Yeah, I'm trying to let me see how many.
While I'm doing that, that reminds me, I got some things I gotta write down on my calendar.
Okay. So all right.
Oh, let's take my PC with me.
Okay, so we'll be right back. And we will continue. The next one we are continuing will be with Giza Guardian. So we stand with Egypt stuff.
Hell yeah.
Don't open the book. You mustn't open the book. Okay. See y'all in a bit. All right, hello, welcome back, everyone. So, we are back. We did Starry Sphinx, and so now we're gonna do Giza Guardian.
Yeah. I keep trying to scroll up on your browser.
Oh,
like that's not how this works.
First comment is
That's
President
a
Dean.
lot of sand.
That's a lot of sand. Anakin Skywalker just like shakes his head. It's disgusting.
Shaking.
Weather permitting, will carry a feed of the Starry Sphinx in Giza on July 4th. Stay tuned. Maze News Network. Hey, it's Maze again.
Hey.
We're grooving out.
Right? Hey, what the hell? Wait, what's going on?
Oh.
It's collapsing. Or I guess it's feeding, it said?
Yeah, carry a... No, wait. We will carry a feed.
Oh, so like,
So-
yeah. Like
yeah.
A camera feed. Okay. Oh, weird.
Hello.
You just got stick bugged?
Yeah, seriously. They're corners.
Oh, they're corners.
It really is, or they're kind of like, look, makes me think of like corners, so I don't say that.
I ain't gonna lie, it kind of looked like Lost for a second there. Is this Lost?
Oh,
My God, it's St. Louis.
ooh, and then it flicked out right at that last second.
Yeah.
So it did like that thing where it's like we've kind of seen before, where it just like when like
expands, it's kind of like boom.
When like interdimensional like weirdness goes full, but like whatever, it just like it almost looks like an electrical storm.
Yeah.
Dr. Disturbing presents.
Dr. Disturbing presents
Project Giza Guardian.
Throughout the 19th century, English archaeologists in Egypt encountered stories, time and again, of mysterious lightning strikes near the Great Pyramids of Giza. It was reported that the lightning would strike only in the presence of certain rare constellations. However, no one outside of the Bedouin tribes knew of which constellations. The secrecy protected the value of Giza glass, a mineral created by the strange lightning striking the desert sand. The glass also served as a form of black market currency for several tribes. For decades, the Bedouins' knowledge eluded British archaeologists. For as long as the constellations remained unknown, the Giza glass that formed was retrieved by the Bedouins long before anyone else arrived. However, in the late 1870s, British Egyptologist Flinders Petrie discovered the constellation which preceded the electrical phenomenon. In 1880, he arranged an expedition to collect samples of Giza glass for the British Museum. Petrie accurately predicted the appearance of Giza glass, and with the help of British troops, secured the location of the glass for themselves. The glass, which formed in long, multi-layered sheets, was fractured in order to be more easily transported. While collecting fragments, Petrie slipped and landed on an upright plane of Giza glass. The force of the fall, combined with the sharpness of the material, decapitated Petrie immediately.
Oh shit.
While British troops at the scene quickly assumed Petrie had been killed, a closer inspection revealed that he was still alive. Although his head was separated from his body, Petrie remained conscious and could even mouth rudimentary words. Medical personnel were initially relieved Petrie had somehow survived, but they
were initially relieved. Look,
oh,
he's
thank God,
okay.
The decapitated man is alive. Oh shit! I would be like, oh shit, he's alive. Oh God. Oh, this must hurt like hell.
This is even worse.
concerned when his head began to discolor and swell significantly. But the fate of Flinders Petrie is a tale for another day.
Are you sure about
Petrie's
that?
lot, as his collection of Giza glass came to be known, arrived in England in 1891. Unfortunately, due to the poor handling of its containers during transit, the glass arrived broken into thin shards and was deemed worthless by museum curators. Yet, as a token of international diplomacy, the British Museum divided Petrie's lot among visiting American ambassadors. Vaguely aware of Giza glass's odd properties, President John D. Rockefeller ordered the immediate confiscation of the material from the American ambassadors. Although many in his administration were eager to see the glass be used in warfare, President Rockefeller refused to authorize military use and instead discussed other possible applications with the head of the Department of the Interior. After numerous conferences, it was settled that segments of Giza glass would be polished into fine blades and given to a select group of Greco-Egyptian swordsmen. These
What?
Greco-Egyptian swordsmen. These dudes.
Usually tall swordsmen were assigned to the Grand Canyon and guarded restricted areas from trespassers.
What?
Protected under federal law, the Grand Canyon Guardians continued to serve for decades until the last member was discontinued. All trespassers who were maimed by the Guardians were promised discontinued.
Discontinued. It didn't say die, it specifically said discontinued. It's like, what is that?
Well, because I assume they're the statues.
Yeah.
So in this world, people are just totally cool with statues coming to life? Because it's happened a lot.
Yeah.
People are just kind of like, interesting.
It's like, bro, this shit became a crab. It's fine.
Right? The shit became a crab, and the thing that we cared more about was the grill.
Trespassers who were maimed by the Guardians were promised a lifetime's worth of a special concoction which controlled unwanted side effects. However, since the medication's efficacy decreased over time, older victims were promised housing within the Grand Canyon to guarantee their safety and privacy from the outside world, but only under the condition that they would lure known dangerous persons wanted by the federal government to the forbidden zones of the national park.
The U.S. project claimed that Project Giza Guardian was shut down in 1969. However, sightings of swordsmen in the Grand Canyon continue to this day.
Okay, I have so many questions.
Yeah, and keep in mind, so like, the guys, like that guy that was like, that found the glass, when he got decapitated, they noticed like that the effect was that his head began to become bigger and like discolored.
I didn't even think about that, because the same Giza glass that they gave swordsmen to in the Grand Canyon, where we've been seeing the Grand Canyon heads.
Yeah.
From before.
So the canyon crowns. So that's apparently
Yeah.
like they, and we've seen like other things where it's like the whatever's like decapitated or like whatever is like removed is still maintains like some sort of like connection with
Yeah, we have seen that.
with the other part, but because like we saw photographs of that, but like
of like people without heads,
Yeah.
and the
or like, you know, just other parts, if it gets like chopped off or whatever, they still operate and stuff like that. And so apparently there is like some sort of medicine that can, at least for a period of time, like make them live.
which I think they touched on in the Grand Canyon one before too.
Yeah. And they were like trying to find someone that had disappeared, because it is one of those
Yeah.
like, if people like go missing or something like that, they tend to become like one of these
Yeah.
things. So okay, Fully is Sick Firm interview with Lewis Crawford, wife of esteemed American sculptor Thomas Crawford. Thomas Crawford is best known.
Statue of Freedom.
Oh, yay!
Thomas odiava l'America. È andato a Roma quando era 21 anni e ci è rimasto per il resto della sua vita. Era divertito dal fatto che la proprietà degli schiavi americani lo volesse per creare una statua chiamata Libertà. All'inizio Thomas non voleva aiutarli, ma poi realizzò che la statua poteva diventare un simbolo per altre persone. Dietro alla statua un berretto della libertà, qualcosa che gli schiavi romani liberati indossavano. Penso che se una statua alta 6 metri di una donna liberata si ergesse sulla cupola del Campidoglio, alcuni uomini sarebbero stati meno ignoranti. Puoi immaginare quanto deluso fosse quando il signor Davis a Washington gli disse di togliere il cappello dalla libertà. Ma Thomas vedette il suo progetto andare a buon fine. Andò persino in Egitto per trovare il materiale per la sua spada. È un
Like easy glass.
Ooh. So the sword she has.
vetro di ghisa.
It's all coming together
Una volta,
now.
mentre stava affinando il vetro nella sua officina, si tagliò accidentalmente la punta di un dito. Nonostante fossi preoccupata quando me lo disse, lui non riusciva a smettere di ridere. Mi disse che il vetro era così tagliente che la punta del suo dito si affettò senza dolore né sangue. Però poteva comunque sentirla. Quando Thomas si concentrava, poteva addirittura farla contrarre sul tavolo. Lo trovava divertente. Io no.
Honey,
I
that's
did
not
not.
funny. But look, honey, I
No,
can
it's
make it
cool.
move. Look.
He's like dancing across the table. Han, that's your decapitated finger. I wonder what it looks like too. Like,
Honey,
does it
did you-
look like where the muscle cuts off?
I guess it would be like, yeah.
Honey, did you throw away my finger nub? I feel wet on my finger that isn't there. Because then you could still feel it too. Like
Yeah.
imagine like feeling your hand go through like all the weirdness. I do love. He found it funny. I did not.
Women.
Oh, women, am I right? What the fuck?
Una sera tornò a casa senza una mano. Diceva che poteva comunque muoverla all'officina.
He created the
Era
thing.
giovane quando se ne andò. Aveva solo 43 anni. Mi sarebbe piaciuto passare più tempo assieme. Ci amavamo davvero tanto. Puoi immaginare la mia sorpresa quando guardai nel modello di gesto della bocca. Grazie a Dio che l'ispettore Zaffino era nel torto. Mi fece pensare che c'era un serial killer in città, ma nessuno l'aveva ucciso. Thomas aveva tagliato il suo stesso corpo e si era inserito nella libertà. Come parte di lui. Sapevo che
That's why it has his eyes.
vedere i suoi occhi sulla statua era troppo per me.
And because he cut it up with using Giza glass.
Yeah.
So, which does seem to like make you, like the one thing it does seem to like make the parts, like it does seem to make it where you're kind of like, I guess, where you like don't age. All this
But
other
also-
all this other weird stuff happens to you, but like you don't seem to like age. Seems to be the
But
implication.
also, I wonder, because didn't the Statue of Freedom kill his daughter?
I don't.
Why would he do that?
I don't think so.
Lei sembrava viva. Giappino disse agli americani che Thomas fosse morto. Credo che lui abbia trovato la verità da allora. La polizia di Gibilterra pensava che sarei stata devastata dal sentire che avessero trovato la pelle di Nina nella grotta. Ma ero sollevata. Sei ancora viva. Thomas deve averla messa nella statua con lui. Dentro la libertà. Thomas e Nina stanno proteggendo l'America. Insieme.
Oh, so they're both in the statue. Okay.
Okay.
Following the broadcast, the controversial Delaware double report. The Delaware River was shut down. Frozen George Washington.
That's right. I still want to know more about this too, because why is George Washington alive?
For a secondary organization, the new Delaware Journal continue operations. Sneaky, sneaky. They know it's not us because they wouldn't think we're dumb enough to put just new in front of our...
Yo, this reminds me of, have you ever seen that video? Fuck you, Baltimore!
Yeah.
That's exactly what that looks like.
Washington,
Freedom has a new home. Following the ADA storming of the Capitol on January 6th, numerous organizations expressed interest in purchasing the Statue of Freedom. The statue, which fell during the riot and caused over 150 casualties, was seen by reactionary politicians as a result of poor craftsmanship, and blamed her original installer, Philip Reed, for her collapse. Reed, an experienced architect and enslaved man at the time of Freedom's assembly, quickly became the latest in a series of historical figures demonized by the ADA. Due to growing reluctance to reinstall the Statue of Freedom, the Department of the Interior has instead transferred Freedom to an undisclosed location in the Grand Canyon and rejected all other offers to purchase her. When asked why the statue had been sent to the Grand Canyon, President Dean replied, "The rocks won't shoot her down."
I mean, he's right.
He's not wrong. He's very much correct.
Shortly after the broadcast of Freedom's own journalist leaked classified documents like STFR 4.3099 to the public. Melrose now lives in exile in Egypt.
Oh, like Edward Snowden.
Correct and extinguish ADA members and other curious persons. Protect May's assets.
Protect May's assets. And this ADA is anti-Dean, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Taylor P. Manning.
Wait.
Franklin B. Carr. Bonnie Newman.
I wonder if they sent the Statue of Freedom after these people. It's making that same trail.
Yeah. It's like it's being used as like a hitman.
Yeah.
It's like Agent 47, but instead it's a massive statue.
It's a statue.
The statue could be any one of us. Here's
God,
the
that
sound.
just reminds me of like Doctor Who.
Here's the sound of like the granite moving, and it's like, is it you? The statue just shakes its head. Okay, yeah, it's not them. I bet it's this guy over here. But yeah, what is it, like the statue where it's the weeping angels or whatever, where they just go snap?
Yeah, because at the end of the first appearance, he basically hints at the fact that like any statue can be a weeping angel, but because like there are so many people looking at them and the gazes of other statues count, that like they're dormant until something happens and they can move again. Because that was the big at the end of the first like appearance of the weeping angels. He tricked them by like gathering all the angels in a circle so that they were all looking at each other, so none of them could move. And yeah, it was hinted that like there's a bunch of statues everywhere that are secretly weeping angels, but they're dormant because there's other statues and people constantly staring at them.
Just because of how they're positioned, they like they're stuck.
Yeah.
Randall. This could be you.
So it cut off her head?
Yeah. And with the
Huh.
Giza swords voice, they all become canyon crowns.
Yeah.
Following clip known as The Last Words of Maya Anderson were recovered by park rangers in the Grand Canyon.
Ooh.
Wasn't Maya... Was she the one that was mentioned, like, the sister of, like, the guy that they were, like, trying to find in the Grand Canyon?
Maybe? I don't remember that one.
We'll go back right after we
I know what you're
finish
talking
this.
about, though.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't remember.
We'll go and check after this video, since there's just 2 minutes left.
Oop. Okay.
Viewer discretion is advised.
I love when things start with the viewer discretion.
Oh yeah, that's how you know it's gonna be good.
Mm-hmm.
Remove lens.
Come on, people. You watch Letterkenny? Fucking amateurs.
Maya knows something ahead of her.
No. No, not now. I'm leaving now. I won't bother you.
Maya's body falls into a ravine. Audio cuts out. In 2004, park rangers discovered Maya Arnoldson's headless body. As of 2021, her head remains missing.
Very interesting.
Okay, let's go. Wait.
There's still a little bit, like a cop, like 30 more seconds. Oh no, never mind. That's just.
Okay, let's check.
Just the usual. Yeah. So that no, you're right. Going up.
Yeah.
There you go. That was okay, I do remember that. Remember, they said that vinegar was a special substance.
Yeah, or
it
it included vinegar or something like that. So that's like the smell.
Yeah, and it like negates some of the effects of the Giza glass.
Yeah.
There you go. There we go. Okay.
Yeah, wheelers find out what we saw. It's called Canyon Crown. He is Vader to bring its huge head back into the body on the strip so he can find his sister Maya. Yep.
Yeah. You were right.
A video by Lauren
Arnoldson.
Yep. All right.
Good catch on that one.
Next one is Fallen Father. The shocking surprise visit. Are you ready? They followed me all the way home.
Oh, thank God it's a squirrel. Mr. Squirrel!
Yay. And we went right for that to like back to the this by the same dude.
Yeah. He's back and better than ever.
And
he's beautiful.
He just gave you the stink eye.
Stink eye. Horny. Alrighty then.
But forget about that. Since you're gone, you'll never see this video, but dream that you were still here and you were about to leave the house. We left, you said, I'm going home now. Your health problems made your body a prison and now you're free. We miss you so much. I wish I hugged you more often. Love you, Dad. I hope you're happy wherever you are.
Hey, that's sad.
I can't stop thinking about the date you left. So much to remember. First memories live at home with us.
Huh.
I think their dad became a canyon crown.
I think so too. I think he went to go hide from something, and it's blocking out the light. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I think they're like hiding in a tent. Can't believe it's been 3 days already. Nathaniel Arnoldson, July 1961 to May 2021. Eric Kazanas. Felt like by
Well,
Alex Kazanas.
Those are all of the people that we saw before.
Yeah, so it seems like he got dead by like maybe one of the Giza Guardians. Or one of the Canyon Crowns.
Yeah, I was thinking Freedom. Because Freedom's the one that killed his sister, right?
Oh, yeah, that's true. Which it would also be with another... It would be with her Giza glass sword, too, though. So
yeah.
he would become a Canyon Crown. Because I'm guessing they probably... If he was looking for a sister, he probably, like, ventured into, like, the forbidden section.
Yeah.
One of the forbidden areas.
And it would have been like, hey, no, you can't do that. Death.
Yep. Guess what? You're going to stay here now. Okay.
Mr. Squirrel is the antagonist, calling it now.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, hey. That's a good point from that one right there. They followed me all the way home. Laura refers to Mr. Squirrel as a man, so she's clearly using they in a plural form.
Therefore she's on the Grand Canyon Adventure, which soon was mine. It's the same crown that now visits her. I found something cute about your aunt's giant severed head going to your house to comfort you after your father's dead. Well, you have your own canyon crown to comfort you, Alex. Stay strong. All right. Do we have... Is 15 minutes to it? Do you want to do, like, I guess we can do one more video for the night just to keep the Rockefeller revelation.
Yeah. We can do that in the last one.
Yeah. My dad unexpectedly passed away 3 months ago. I'll try my best to continue his work.
Oh?
Dr. Disturbing presents.
Oh!
So there we go.
Dr. Disturbing is the Lauren person, I think?
Or I guess it would be like Alex, I think. Because Alex was the son, I think. And it's like a guy that's been speaking when we do the Dr. Disturbing. So like,
oh, that's right. True.
Yeah. So I guess he started up the YouTube channel. The Rockefeller Tapes. Part 7.
I remember seeing the first German airship in its hangar. I was astounded by its immensity until I saw my own name printed on its side. At that moment, an entirely new feeling unveiled within me. It was an emotion which frequented me in childhood, a blend of revulsion and satisfaction that had followed the execution of a cruel jest on a friend or a stranger. A pin in one's foot, a tumble down a stairwell.
Just little trolling.
What would
Just
others
a little
think?
trolling.
I thought to myself at the sight of a foreign airship bearing the name of the American president dropping explosives upon cities of unarmed civilians. I wish to say that revulsion was my sole reaction to this invention, yet I cannot deny that I was proud of this magnificent vehicle. It was perhaps the greatest war machine ever developed by mankind, made possible by yours truly. By nightfall, shame outweighed pride, and I requested the immediate removal of my name from the airship and all its future successors. Although the Germans complied, they continued to refer to their airships as Rockefellers. I knew that removing my name would not obscure the facts for very long. It was inevitable that the American public would one day become aware of my secret dealings in Germany.
So I guess it would be World War I then. Luftschiff Rockefeller 70. Luftschiff. Nose, body, tail. Okay. It's gonna be some unholy thing that's like for keeping it up. Elevator,
Yeah, right.
rudder.
What creepy kaiju?
Surveillance car. Envelope. Gunner gondolas. Control car. Spindle. What's inside? Interior. Oh, I think I know what it is.
I don't. What the fuck is that?
It had always been my intention to reinvigorate the American economy.
Yes.
Once I had been debriefed of the situation in the Grand Canyon,
That's what it is. It's the crowns.
overpopulation of crowns, I realized that I was also hearing the beginnings of a solution to the impending economic collapse. That solution being slavery. I can imagine your reluctance to read on, and I entirely understand. Rest assured, I believe that all citizens should be unconditionally promised the very freedoms that our country established at its founding: life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. However, crowns are not men or women, nor are they animals. They are merely the decayed shells of ignoble criminals. They do not qualify for the same freedoms exercised by ordinary civilians. Once they were conditioned and bound together, the crowns became the perfect workforce. They did not rebel, for they could not speak. They could not leave, for they were chained. And best of all,
that's fucked.
Crowns were incapable of forming unions.
That is so freaking American, right?
It is so. Right.
Anti-airship death ray.
Well, now I'm interested. A death ray, you say? Lamp.
I love lamp. I bet these are going to be powered by Giza glass then.
Oh, they gotta be, I would
somehow,
think.
yeah. Like have that in the lens, maybe.
Or it could use the Giza glass like a mirror to reflect it into like a death ray.
Germany was the first nation to inquire about the crowns and their potential applications in warfare. I never mentioned the vast quantities of Giza glass we owned, since I knew that it could provide them with many more crowns at low cost. Instead, after signing several agreements and receiving a tremendous German sum, I provided them with over 100 crowns, along with my best advisors and the brightest engineers. Our time with the Germans gave rise to the greatest military vehicles in history, the Rockefellers. Germany's growing demand for men and crowns to construct more Rockefellers revitalized the American economy. Very few nations offered to hire as many of our men and women, and none would have paid as graciously as Germans did. It was, by all accounts, the greatest and most sustainable partnership of recent times. I could not have foreseen the destruction those airships would eventually inflict to the very nation that provided them. I thought that their creation would unite Germany and America. I could not have predicted that by 1918, Rockefeller bombing raids would have killed thousands of American and European soldiers. My terms were over before I could take action against the Germans. It was the administration after my own which was tasked with the seemingly impossible mission of destroying the Rockefellers while preserving the reputation of the former president.
Seriously?
Although they knew of my dealings in Germany and had every opportunity to expose me, they chose not to, for in their eyes, no good could come of it. However, I knew it was only a matter of time before I would become the laughingstock of my country. As the war drew to a close, I often found myself in a daze, envisioning my assassination on the streets of New York, or, more likely, on the steps of my very own center. However, it would be years before my visions would acquire any plausibility. President Hughes did a fine job of eliminating every Rockefeller while concealing my involvement.
Operation
Pyramid plasma.
not to scale.
I just gotta use Giza glass. They mounted the laser on top of the pyramids.
Airship, anti-airship death ray, men, Great Pyramid. Oh my gosh. Blue Shift Rockefeller 70.
it is a miracle that only now the news of my involvement in the Great War has become widely known. Thankfully, information on the Crowns has continued to stay hidden from the public spotlight. I would much rather have the public believe that Germans were the only persons inside when the airships were shot down and crashed in flames. With the tragedy at the center, and now the airship scandal, known by many as the Rockefeller Revelation, I believe that my failures have finally caught up to me. There are men outside the center who had once been my supporters. Now they want me executed. The policemen have kept the crowds at bay, though I believe that my assassination is, like the revelation, inevitable. To be elected the president of a country is the greatest honor a people can bestow. But at the moment, I do wish to be the famous oil tycoon that young Virginia Arnoldson believed I was. Forgive me.
Oh, and Virginia's last name was Arnoldson as well.
Yeah, I was like, wait a minute.
Yeah, and because that was the, and so
That
it's
was the girl who,
yeah, that was the girl who wrote the little booklet.
Yeah, about being transported.
Getting isekai'd.
Yeah, right. Getting isekai'd.
Yeah.
Because her and her friends didn't know how to make a fucking ladder.
Yeah. See, man, please don't make the bad. I was trying to save the company, bro. You did actual slavery. You wanted these.
Oh yeah, we just kind of glanced over that.
Yeah. Listen, but the heads weren't people. They weren't even animals, so it's fine.
Yeah, they didn't think that about other. They didn't think about that, in the 1800s either.
And it was only the heads of criminals, which is one of those things that it's like, once again, we know that's not true either.
Yeah, no, it's like, yeah, we know that that's not entirely true.
Yeah, some people was just like regular people that some were like criminals, but a lot were just like people that stumbled upon like place in the forbidden, actually just like would, there'd be people just lost visiting the Grand Canyon and
the Forbidden Zone.
Yes. He made the hits.
Huh.
Effects of operation. Stage 1 disintegration. Men divided into microscopic parts.
Huh?
Stage 2 ambulation. The semi-conscious and unstable remains of the men traverse the Oh my gosh, is the freaking death ray powered?
They're the Star Sphinx.
Fused together in a more stable being.
Virtual insanity. Sorry.
S1, the men return to their homeland.
Face.
Stage 5 retaliation, the men execute a counterattack. Oh, okay. So this is what happened to like the people that were operating the death ray. It like caused an effect that missed them. Okay, and they like formed into one.
It like combined them into one being.
Yeah, and he's coming back to US. On May 23rd, 1930, President Rockefeller entered a bunker underneath 30 Rockefeller Plaza. He was never seen again. Ooh, they came after him. It's found the door of the bunker had been melted open with possibly the most powerful heat ray ever built.
Some may even say a death ray?
State Rockefeller Foundation considers the president's disappearance as an abduction. Only 2 photos of the potential suspect were ever released.
It's gonna be like a statue. It's the tree.
Wait, I think they're gonna go. I think there's gonna be like a zoom in or something. Can you see them?
Wait, I don't see. Yeah, I don't see shit.
I think it's the light, but I think I thought it was just trees.
That's what I'm thinking too.
Or,
oh wait, dead center. It's kind of like see-through.
Like
maybe I don't know. I feel like.
Okay, hold on. Look at where's my here?
Left.
Oh, there.
Yep.
Okay.
I think.
Yeah, I think that is. Hold on. Let's see what the. Apparently, they showed up in the other photo too. If it.
Yeah.
Yep,
okay.
You were right, because it's that same kind of see-through thing.
Yeah.
That is wild.
Mm-hmm. So the question is, I wonder what did happen to him. Did he get killed, turned into a head? Did he get transported through the corner world? Did he get transported through the tree?
Did he just get melted?
Did he just get melted into rockagoo? They melt him down in a Flex Seal? Not cool, Rocky. President Dean.
Ooh, the thing that kidnapped Rockefeller looks like the Air Force Angel. Interesting.
I forgot about the Air Force Angel. I totally forgot about this. It does.
Yeah.
Because it's like gray and see-through.
Yeah, it's just kind of like, it's just like vaguely human-shaped and see-through. Wow, thank you, YouTube commenter, for the nice catch. That is... So they're still active, even after... Alright. So that is... Dude, I am amped for next time.
Right. It's like we hit that point where all the pieces are slowly coming together.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
like, ooh.
It's all coming up Millhouse.
Oh yeah, it's all coming together.
Do we want to pencil in, I guess, for like maybe the 18th at 8, like same time? I don't know if that's just throwing that out.
Yeah, 18th should be good. I was looking at my calendar.
Okay.
18th I can do.
But yeah, this should be. Oh,
we're going back to the Air Force Angel.
2-1. Okay, the next one is Washington Wonderland, and then right after that, Air Force One Fallen Angel.
Oh, and we get to see more about the because remember the Alcatraz thing?
Yep, Alcatraz Apocalypse.
The Nixon verse.
Yeah. So yeah, this is. But yeah, so I am very much enjoying this. I am amped. How are you feeling after tonight?
Patriotic, remembering all those Americans killing each other over the gas grill and the everything, the big crab thing. Dude, this is so. I love this series because it's like it's creepy, it's unsettling, but it's so funny. It knows when it's like, all right, it's time to be serious, but we can also have a little bit of fun.
I'm gonna sneak a little jokey here. Tee hee.
Right? Yeah. Tee hee. We deafened all of America. A little trolling.
And how are we feeling? Do we think Dean is evil?
Because when it started out, it was like, oh yes, the anti-Deans, they don't like people, and they don't like Dean, and they do silly things, and it's like, okay. And then later it's like they literally destroyed half of America. It's like, I don't think that a random group of people who don't like the president can do that.
Well, I mean, like, specifically that the president Dean is he secretly evil. Yeah.
I feel like he's a part of it. He's definitely a part of it. Because like especially a lot of what we've seen is Dean's such a nice guy. Dean's so good. Look at what Dean does. Like you said, every time like a disaster happens, Dean is right there and makes it better for everybody. It's like, after a while, it's like, all right, you're here a little too often.
He's able to profit off of like everything that happens.
Yeah, and the thing that, like, again, my conspiracy brain is like, he's getting technology into literally everybody.
Yeah.
Through the Department of Technology.
Yeah, and we know, and it's in conjunction with Maze, which we know is
evil.
Is there's like something being fed at each of these places.
Someone who plays bongos can't be evil.
Yeah. See, I mean, think of Hitler. Did Hitler play bongos? No. Therefore, evil.
I don't think so.
I rest my case. Therefore,
did James Dean
get
thrown out of bongo school? I didn't think so. Couldn't make it into bongo school.
Okay. But yeah, I enjoyed this, so we'll pick up.
I did too.
We will pick up.
I'm now going to pass out in my bed.
Yeah. We will join y'all next time with Washington Wonderland. We're gonna go down the Dean hole next time, I guess, or the Washington hole.
We're going down Dean's hole next time. Best be prepared for that stream.
So yeah, I hope y'all have a good one, and thanks for. I will see y'all next time.